This is Python's Paradise. This is your host, Greg Gilbert, aka the Python Hyena, straight out of Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada, but rocking a beautiful Toronto background behind me. Winter scene Toronto, my true home. But folks, here we are, January the 25th, 2025. And you know, I got a nine-time guest on here today. Nine. Don't know what to say about that. He's looked funny when I first met him, and now he's nine times funnier looking. Folks, I give you the absolutely awesome author. I better not say actor. Folks, I give you the absolutely awesome Scotty McCoy. How do you do, Scotty?
Hi, Greg. I'm doing good. I guess 9 years means it was 9 years putting up with you.
Maybe Brett Harris has put me up for this.
Right now, have you had anybody on as am I the most you had on it, like I guess ever?
Well, here's how I break it down. You're the most in terms of a solo guest,
Hmm.
but you're not the most.
Okay.
I've had Jeffrey Mark on a
Okay.
lot more.
All right.
However, this is how I break that down. And I plan to have Jeffrey Mark back on. He's right now in California, which is having their problems.
Hmm.
But with the wildfires and whatnot, he's safe though, right now anyway. But Jeffrey Mark has been on four times just talking about his own career.
Hmm.
He was also on once interviewing me on my 50th birthday,
Hmm.
and he was on doing tributes on celebrities he knew personally, like not just in passing. So he was on. He did tribute to Lucille Ball, who he knew, um, Ella Fitzgerald, Mary Tyler Moore, Steve Allen,
Wow.
um, Milton Berle, Don Wells, and Ethel Merman.
Wow.
So when you stop and rack them up, that's
Hmm. It's a lot.
four about as with himself, and then there's the one where he interviewed me on my birthday, and then there's seven others. So seven, five, one. So he's been on 13 times.
Wow.
But how I always look at it,
Yeah.
because when I put the tribute interview, I always put the name of the person being tributed,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
And when he interviewed me, it was kind of different because it's not Jeffrey Mark interview number one, it's Jeffrey Mark interviews
Hmm.
Python, you know?
Yeah.
So, so I got him listed for there's four
Nice.
interviews with Jeffrey Mark being interviewed,
Nice.
and then there's the tributes. But that's and the reason why I do that, because I know how my brain works.
Hmm.
If The reason why I don't number those up to 13 with him is because I know how my brain works, where it's um, I'm really thinking about, especially when you got somebody that's on with another guest.
Yeah.
It's usually that person plus that person.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't like Nancy McLaughlin's been on she's been on five times. So I got I did Nancy McLaughlin interview number 5. She's also been on 1 year with another guest,
Hmm.
somebody who was making those medallions she made. And so there is the 5 interviews,
Yeah.
but that interview with her and Melissa Bentley, I put that's an interview with Nancy McLaughlin, Melissa Bentley. I don't put Nancy McLaughlin number 6 because I the interview's kind of different. I guess
Yeah.
that's just kind of how my mind works, you know?
Yeah, it makes sense. Cause like I have John Morris and Mary Gibbs on next month. And John Morris, he played Andy in Toy Story 1 through 4. He voiced him, and Mary Gibbs voiced Boo in Monsters Inc. And like I wouldn't, if I have them on again as a team, it would be like John Morris and Mary Gibbs interview one, then interview two. But if I have them on, together once, and then I do John Morris, twice, it'll be John Morris one, John Morris two, and then just their interview, So it makes sense because
Yeah,
technically they're on, another time, but if they're with another guest, the other guest needs to be included, with the count.
yeah. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah.
What do you think there's gonna be? I was just reading today that there's gonna be a Toy Story 5.
There is. I don't know if John Morris is going to return. I pretty sure I have that as a question for him. So I would like. I'm not sure. I have to run it by his agent, who's also my agent. But I have to run it by him, and see if I don't have it included, if I could include it, because when you deal with agencies and everything, you have to basically make sure that not every agency is like that, but you want to make sure that your interview goes according to plan. It goes well because it's not only reflecting on my show, but it's also reflecting on their careers, and you want to make sure that they also look good and their agency looks good.
Yeah, um, I know Toy Story 5 is supposed to deal with the toys and
Hmm.
kids on their tablets and technology
Yes.
and all that stuff. I like the fact that these movies are thinking, you know.
Hmm.
And I've heard some rumors and stuff what they're gonna do with it. And I like that idea, but personally, if it was up to me, I would try to find a way for them to end back with
Yeah,
Andy and then pass down to his kids.
that would be good.
Yeah, because I had a few issues with Toy Story 4.
Hmm.
I like Toy Story 4, don't get me wrong,
Right.
but I thought it was the weakest one. And I'm going to tell you a couple issues I had. Number one, when you look at Toy Story 3, where Bonnie comes into it and the toys get passed down to her,
Hmm.
there was a big connection between her and Woody in Toy
Yeah.
Story 3 that seems to get lost in Toy
Hmm.
Story 4.
Yeah.
Now, I can understand her wanting to play with Jessie more, the cowgirl, but
Hmm.
I it's like the screenwriter ignored or forgot the connection
And
because
the thing is it might have been a different screenwriter in part four, and if that's the case, they should have done their homework to see what was going on in the previous movie and movies before that.
yeah. So I had that issue. Another thing I had an issue with is that they resorted a lot of the other characters to this just this like it was like this
Hmm.
tacked on subplot just to find something to do with them involving halting the RV or whatever it was
Hmm.
that they were doing. And it's like really they couldn't find some way to utilize these characters better,
Yeah.
but I didn't hate it. But out of the 4 Toy Story films, I think that Toy Story 4
Yeah.
is the weakest.
Yeah.
But but notwithstanding, it's still worthwhile film to see.
Right.
Out of the 4 Toy Story movies, I think 2 and 3 are the best,
Yeah.
especially number 2. Number 2, I think, is my favorite.
Yeah. definitely. I love number two. Part of me wants to say I saw part four. I know Forky's in it, but a part of me wants to say I saw the fourth Toy Story, but I really don't remember it. I know I didn't see it in theaters, but I thought I saw it on
Oh,
Disney
I saw
Plus, but
all of them in theaters. I saw all four of those
I
movies in
believe I saw
theaters.
the first one I know I saw in theaters because I was young. Like it came out when in the 90s, like 95-ish.
95. And then the second one came out in a great year for movies, one of the best, and that was 99.
Yeah,
And then the third one came out in 2010.
yeah.
And the fourth one, it
It was
might have been
2019, I believe.
the fourth one.
Because it was competing with the Child's Play, but not the real Chucky Child's Play, like the AI version of him.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
But nonetheless, but I liked all four films,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But I think to me, the reason I say the second and third one I thought were the
Hmm.
best is because, and even the first one I like,
Yeah,
but a lot of the supporting characters were just relegated, especially even in the first one, they're relegated to you got their personalities, but
yeah.
outside that, I mean, it was mainly, Woody and Buzz.
Hmm.
What I liked about the second and third movie is how all the characters were used really, really well.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
think they were all put to really good use. But I think if I had a favorite, I guess the second one.
yeah,
I always love that joke. The villain of the film, the collector, like,
yeah.
oh yeah, he puts to shame us collectors,
Hmm.
But I love it. There he goes. I can't
Yeah.
believe I gotta go all the way to work on a Saturday, all the way
Yep.
to work, and he drives across the road.
Which is the one where there was like the incinerator?
That was the third one,
That was the third. Okay, so that's the one, the last one I saw. So
and
I didn't see the fourth one then.
well, I gotta say this with the incinerator thing. I like the payoff to that which I
Yes.
won't give away. But the Toy Story films have been consistently smart.
Yeah.
Like even with my gripes, some gripes with the fourth one, I still like it.
Yeah. You don't
Like,
get a lot of movies nowadays where they have a couple of movies within the franchise where each one of them is consistently good.
yeah.
Like where
So
it's
I
like
got
I don't want to watch that because of battery. Like they're really like they're all good. This every movie has flaws, but they're consistently worthwhile. Like it might not be my favorite, but I still highly recommend watching it.
watching what?
Like a Toy Story one, two,
Yeah.
three, or four. Like
Yeah.
all four of them are that good that you could still recommend them even if one's better than the other.
And you got the fifth one where they're dealing with, technology and
Yeah,
kids get relegating to their phones and this and that.
yeah,
And I'm kind of like, you know what? I like that. They're thinking,
yeah, yeah,
with actors like Tom Hanks and Tim Allen coming back and reprising the roles. They can do this because and
yeah.
I'm not looking down on voice acting, but they're
Right,
not away so much
right.
that this is something that they can do. And
Hmm. I think that
without
they would have a perfect opportunity if they utilize technology toys like as new characters of toys. If you know what I mean, like those toy phones. Like make a toy phone. Like add a character like that, kind of like they did with Forky. How they have like that as a new character. Like just bring like a toy phone
how
or
about Scotty Underpants?
Captain Underpants.
You traumatized poor Brett Harris.
Yeah, I feel bad for that man. Oh
But
my
not,
God.
but nevertheless, I enjoyed the Toy Story movies. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I'll definitely go see that
Yeah.
when it comes out, see what they do with it, you
Absolutely.
know. Yeah, but
And with the way AI is taking over and everything, and AI is becoming a big part of today's technological society, I think that they can do a lot with technology. In I don't mean like actually manipulate the movie, but I mean like actually if they want to go the technology route of, they're using phones and all that, they can really go really in depth with how technology is evolving in the real world with that film. Like that could be a big center plot point, like even to the fact that like AI is taking over, that it's either like toys are getting taken away, or there's things like that, selling it
Hmm.
on Amazon or buying toys. They could really do a lot with that.
Sure they can. Yeah.
Hmm.
But anyway, but yeah, this is your number nine on here. So
Yeah,
yeah, I can't believe I don't know where time has gone because I started doing this podcast in 2015. And here we are 10 years later, and I'm like, how,
I
Yeah,
remember it like it was yesterday. I was driving. I got done my shift at work down by Philly. I'm
you've done your
driving.
shit at work.
Listen, like I got done I literally was driving. I get in my car and I'm driving and I see a text from you. I'm like, who's this? And I look at my text and you're like, on Facebook, and you messaged me about having me on your show for an interview, and I'm like, oh my God, I need to message him back right away. And I have like another 45 minutes to get home. I'm like, oh, what do I do? So I'm like trying to go as fast as I possibly could to get home, and then I immediately messaged you because I was a new author at the time. It wasn't it 2016 was the first time you had me on, because my
Yeah.
first book was out in 2016 February.
Hmm.
And that's when you had me on. I'm like, oh, that's so awesome. Like this is really my first interview.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been a long time. So
Yeah.
yeah, but I know I haven't done many interviews even starting this year because like I'm working like 80 hours a week doing two cleaning jobs. So I'm like it's hard for me to put the time together, but I'm
Yeah.
still doing them, I'm still
Yeah.
doing them.
Same with
Yeah,
me. Like I haven't, the last interview I think I did was August, because I'm in grad school. So like that's taken
you're in
up, I'm in
grade
my
school.
yeah, I wish. I mean, but grad school, like, man, like I'm in my last semester. I've been in grad school the last 2.5 years. I'm in my last semester now to get my master's of science, and I just been doing interviews. Usually, every now and again, I'll do one or two here or there, and I will do them in the summer. But spring and fall semesters, I really focus and dedicate my time to getting my master's degree, and focusing on my classes. And on top of that, I'm teaching at the same school, and I work full time. So it's like there's really not a lot of time. That's why, like, I'm glad we could set up the interview. And I mean, I just started this. This is we just finished our first week of the new semester, and I'm like, well, let's do it. Saturday, because it's only the first week, so I'm not going to have a whole lot going on the first week of school, and we always usually meet up in January anyways. So it worked out that you were available today and I'm available right at the beginning of the semester. So I really don't have to fork over a lot of, a lot of time to, do my school. Now I'm able to give you the time that I can properly do for the interview, because I don't have, schoolwork really at this moment, because it's just week one.
Well, you would have done it anyway, because Brett Harris would have showed up over there
Absolutely. I gave Brett Harris homework with my one book. He wrote the foreword.
as opposed to the backward.
Is supposed to the backward. He rather the forward. Oh, I don't know. That kind of sounds bad.
Yeah, I reached out. Brett Harris wants to come back on, but he's got to
Yeah.
wait a few weeks, and he made it sound like he had something going on, but I think I know the real reason. I think he wants to grow his facial hair back out to full length.
I know he does. I can't say why, but I know he does.
Hmm.
But he's definitely got a lot going on. Nothing bad that I'm aware of. He just, like, he's I know he's got his son is doing like football and that. and stuff like that. So he's doing a lot of games. I don't know when the games and that are happening and all that stuff, but I know he's been busy. But I know he'll definitely do your show. He loves coming on the show, and even when I met up with him, when I was home the last time, was it? It was during when I was home for Christmas break. I was visiting my mom in Pennsylvania, and I met up with Brett. I went to his house and we chilled, and I was hanging out with him and his son, and his wife was there, and we had a good time. And I signed a couple of copies of the books that he bought, and yeah, he's always been a good friend of mine. I'm so glad that I really got to meet him. And I mean, just imagine like in our small little community in Pennsylvania, that somebody like him who does stunts and knows stunt coordination is there, that helps out with filmmaking locally, is just a big bonus for us because he's really good at what he does.
Yeah, and it's interesting too because like I've interviewed a few people that
Mhm.
was involved with Sam Hain, but Brad Harris is the only one outside yourself I've had on
Mhm.
repeat. Like he's been on here 5 times now, so
Yeah.
this will be
Yeah.
six when I schedule him. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And we all know the story about Amanda, but she's definitely changed, if I may say so myself. Without going into very excruciating details, but she definitely has changed enough for the better. And Tyler, I don't really talk to anymore. He's not on my Facebook anymore. I think he just kind of
he's
distanced.
not on mine either, but I remember having a good interview with him. I liked
Yeah.
Tyler,
Yeah, I
you
like
know.
Tyler, but I think he just distanced himself from film itself.
Yeah,
I don't think I mean, I think he really liked it, but I think because our first film, Sound, wasn't the greatest. A lot of it was improv. And then when we got
no
to the Friday
shit.
right. And when we got to the Friday the 13th film, the fan film, he ended up being Jason, so he didn't have any lines, but he realized that it was our second film. We learned mistakes from the first. So even though he didn't have lines, he saw we were strict on the fact of we're not improving shit. Like you got to actually know your lines. Like come to set prepared. And he knew what he was able to do because he didn't have any lines, but so he just had to practice the motions of Jason. But I guess seeing how we were with the other cast, like you got to come to set prepared. I don't think he was very. I don't think he was very receptive of that. I think he liked the improvisation. I think he liked the freedom. But when you're
Mhm.
acting, you can't just improvise everything because that can make the plot go from, on course to completely off the rails and confusing. And that's why there is a script to memorize.
I just remember when he did a Doubt Fireface challenge,
Yeah.
his sister was behind him and of course she pied him for it, but he was trying to say stuff and she was just hamming it up and finally he's heading up and takes there was enough pie there left. He took it around, got her right
Yeah,
in the
that was really
face.
good though.
I thought that was
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yep. I agree. Yep, I agree. And I know with Tyler, I think he's just been I don't even know if I don't know if he's depressed or because I don't talk to him. But I know he unfriended a lot of people that were involved with Samhain. So I
I
think
don't
and a
think
lot
he
of people
unfriended
associated.
me. I think he just left Facebook.
He may have. I mean, that is a
I don't know.
possibility
I
too.
haven't really looked into it, but
Right. He
you
might have
know,
because I know he doesn't really. I know when COVID started because that was because our film released during COVID in 2020, and
uh-huh.
I know he when COVID started, he was so sick of the mandates, he was so sick of the masks,
Yeah.
he was sick of the statistics, and he just wanted to be away from it and kind of hermit himself. So he even if
And
he has a Facebook.
We here in Canada, we're sick of Trudeau.
So yeah, like even if he has a Facebook, I don't think he really uses it because he doesn't I think he kind of sheltered himself away from a lot of that. And I think a lot of it was also like I think he loved filmmaking, but when we really nailed down like we need you to memorize your lines and memorize what needs to be done, I think that's when he kind of realized, yeah, I don't want to put that work in.
Yeah.
But you have to. That's part of being an actor.
Yeah, I admire when people can improvise well though.
Yeah.
Weird Al Yankovic once said that he can't improvise, but he said he admires comedians that
Hmm.
are able to do it,
Yeah.
and yeah, I
Yeah.
could just go right on the spot and do something different,
Yeah,
you
like I
know.
could
So,
even say like with Amanda behind this camera, she's pretty decent behind the camera. She knows good angles of where the camera should go, and she knows like, proper scene setup. But when it comes to acting, she sucks. I'll be honest, she sucks.
yeah, well, have you got the 72 done?
No, but it's still in post production. It's been a while, I know, a couple years, but we are still in post production. We have been editing it slowly but surely. The whole college thing with me really made things slow down. And then Carl had a couple of things that came up with his daughter, his newest born daughter. I guess medical that really halted things for a while. But he was editing. Oh, he was editing it the other day for a couple hours and all that. And but yeah, I know Amanda is in that movie. Not as much as she was in 70, I mean in Samhain. But I will give you a heads up, in 72, she is even worse than she was in Samhain. And Carl even said that if we couldn't get like he if he could cut out the newscasters scenes, he probably would have, just because of her. But we can't do that because they are throughout other parts of the movie that we can't cut out, so we have to keep it so kind of know who these people are. So yeah, we're trying to, like, I guess, take out as much of the newscaster scenes as possible without completely overriding them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what
No,
happens with filmmaking, especially indie filmmaking, because you don't really have a budget. Either the budget you have is from fundraising, and you can either get a lot or not enough. And some films, don't get enough. I mean, we got enough to make the movie, but I mean, obviously, and we had enough to fulfill the perks, but we didn't have enough to, I guess, have it the greatest as it could have been, like, with reshoots and everything, because we were filming on site at the Gordon Park most of the time. So if we need to film there, we need to pay for an acting permit to film at there, because it's a government owned park, so it's like a public park, and that
well,
needs.
you could always do the Bowfinger thing.
That's true, right? But like with Samhain, we had a $0 budget, but every house and location we used didn't need permissions or a public permit because they were owned by cast members.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. But I mean, Brett Harris, I still support his
yeah,
um, kids cancer
yeah,
cycle because he and his family did a Doubtfire Face challenge,
yeah.
and so
I donated once to him, and I would like to donate again next time he's doing it. I believe he does it in the summer/fallish time, so I would like to donate again. Then I didn't donate this past time. It's just, I don't. It's not that I'm having money problems. It's just that trying to maintain bills. I just bought a house, and now I just bought a car, so kind of trying to, I guess, maintain my budget so I don't go under, and that's why I know now that I'm finally getting back stabilized with my money after the purchases. I'm at the point that I would like to donate again to his campaign, because he's done a lot for me.
yeah,
I
yeah.
donated once before I got the house, before I got the car,
He
but
wants
now
to know where your new house is, so in case he happens to be around for Halloween.
I love Brett though, and he, he
Yeah.
he really embodies Relic. Like that's my character. Like I own that character,
Well, it looked
and
like
Brett.
he owned you in a few places.
Well, he asked me if he can dress up for this for Halloween. I'm like, yeah, Brett, you don't even have to ask. You always have permission, as long as you're doing it in honor of me and that, and not like, and I know he wouldn't do that, but like for somebody else like Amanda, I would be, I mean, I'm more than happy for him to pursue Relic, because he loves that character. Like, yeah, it might not have been the greatest movie per se. A lot of mistakes were made. It was our first movie on a $0 budget, but he did that character literally is the best part of the movie, and it's all because of Brett. Brett improvised all of those lines in the script. He was a Michael Myers embodiment. Like, even the before when it was a web series, he was Michael Myers. It was a Halloween movie, but then we changed all of it and made it my own creation, and you still was a Myers embodiment. Didn't talk, just laughed like a clown. And Brett said, Scotty, I think we should add some dialogue here. I could come up with some pretty good one-liners. And he did. The moment he did it, it's great. So that's why when you see like the earlier deaths, he doesn't really talk because we didn't start that until like maybe 2 or 3 weeks into filming, which was after a couple of the deaths that we
Well,
filmed.
this is the first time I've seen a murder death by serial.
Yeah, that was one that I was hell bent on keeping. And if you look at it, the cereal is alphabet cereal and the spells Sammy on the forehead. Yeah, I needed something that was original because you've seen a bunch of cleavers to the head and all that stuff. You've seen like throat slits and and knives through the all that. You've
How
seen all
long did she keep her face in there?
that. It's a little bit. Because it was a bit. Yeah, she was hesitant. The actress was hesitant on doing the scene. She didn't want to do it. But we're like, you have to do it. Like it's in the script. You got to do it. Like, that's your death scene. So she did it. She
Hmm.
just didn't want to obviously have her face drenched in the bowl. And we told her when you're doing it, we will have to refilm it if you don't make it look legit. So if you want to do it once and done, make it look good. So she did it, and we told her blow bubbles in that milk, like you're gasping for air. Make it look like you're drowning in like a bathtub or a lake. And she blew bubbles in that milk. And even if you watch when like the next scene when her father comes home after she's dead, laying her face in the bowl of cereal, her dad, and that's her dad in real life, he came and he goes, hey Jamie, we have spoons for that, you know? Like that was all improvised. He asked if he could say that. I'm like, you know what? That's actually pretty good. Do that.
Not only that, she got it easy compared to Brett. Brett had to eat
Yeah.
that cereal.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And I
That
guess it was
cereal, I
stale.
didn't think it would have been that bad, but I mean, what do you expect from I mean, it wasn't opened, but what do you expect from unopened year-old cereal? And I'm not talking like year-old, like, Best By date. I'm talking probably expiration date because it was at least like when I bought it, the expir because it was originally meant to be used immediately, and the expiration. I mean, the Best By date was I think maybe a week after I bought it, which is when we were planning on filming,
Hmm.
and so we're talking a year after the Best By date of a week after I bought it, and we filmed probably 6 months after I bought it, like 6 months after so like maybe a year and a half after we used it. So yeah, it's pretty old. It was pretty old and stale.
Yeah, Brett just loved that.
Like him eating it, I'm like, Brett, you do know that cereal is probably not gonna taste good. He's like, that I'll still do it. I'll get through it. I'm like, all right, if you want. So he puts it in his mouth. And when he's going, that is legit him thinking, damn, this is so bad, so stale, so gross. Yeah, he did not like that at all. That was that. I mean, it was funny. Like, oh my God, it was the funny. It was funny, and like even on another thing on set when when we did the scene with the squirt bottle, and for like magical healing or whatever. It was meant to be a corny play on super video game heroes or whatever. And Tyler did it to heal my leg wound. I always walked with the limp after it, but like for some reason it was just supposed to be a corny thing of look, we're video games and this is all mind over magic type of thing or whatever. Anyways, Tyler, it wasn't real water. We thought it was water because it was in a spray bottle, and Yags got it for us thinking it was water because I guess Yags asked his wife if we could use it. She's like, yeah, sure, but it was actually vinegar, and Tyler sprayed it in his mouth thinking it was water, and he ate a crap load of vinegar, like drank like a bunch of vinegar in his mouth. Yeah, that was pretty funny too.
Yeah. Well, you got some books. You're always writing,
Always writing.
and yeah, you got some a bunch of new books. We're going to
Yeah.
talk about them
Yes.
because I don't know how many books you have out now, but Like I don't know how you have time to teach.
I know, right? So I'm writing an anthology series. It's called Tales of Halloween.
Hmm.
I have two books out now. The third book I will show you is has been announced. It will be out in a couple weeks. And then I have another book coming out in March. And I'm currently working on the next book. I would like to get them out like every month if I can. They're not long books. They're able to be read in one sitting. Like it's that they're like 70 to maybe 90 pages if, varying. And they're all different stories. So if you want to if like book 3 and calls out to you, you can read that and not be lost because it's a different story from book 1 and book 2. They're all different stories, kind of like American Horror Stories.
Hmm.
The American Horror Story series, like season 1 is all they're all connected, but season 1 is different from season 2. So it's kind of like that. So it's Tales of Halloween. Let me see what I got. So the first book out that I did, I had to do it because it's based off of sound, but it's different. It has a little bit of supernatural in it, but not too much. So oh my god, this green screen is gonna drive me nuts. So uh, it's the clown on Maple Street. If you can see it, he's.
Hmm.
Oh, let me see. I'm trying to get it in the right position. I don't know why it's doing this. There you go. Oh, let me see it. Oh my god, now I'm all gone. Let's do this. Oh my God, why is it doing that? Oh my goodness. Anyways, The Clown on Maple Street is a book where four teenagers, preteens in that area, they basically are getting ready for Halloween. As you can tell, Tales of Halloween, every single book, the only thing they have in common is that they happen around Halloween time or in October or in the fall.
Hmm.
Um, so basically, four preteens get together. They're friends, but one of them is a younger brother and his older sister who's like 13ish. And they find out about this clown on Maple Street because they live on Maple Street. This clown there's like a lore about him, a legend about him. I don't want to give too much away, but they find out that he was never really this evil. There was some type of fire that happened, and he tried to save his buddy and everything, and it kind of like drove him mad, and he kind of hermited out in a shack or something far away. And he's an artist, by the way. The guy was an artist.
Hmm.
And he kind of hides out in the woods in like an isolated area. So after talking to this guy that knows the clown and his buddy, they end up going to they talk to him, and then they go to out to the forest to confront him, to like talk to him, like, come on, like you could fit in with society, you could fit in with civilization. We don't judge you based on something that really wasn't your fault. And he's like very receptive of it. And then out of nowhere, he has a break and he starts killing the teens and starts killing the other people throughout the city because now he's coming out. And it ultimately culminates at the like the art. Like, it's not really an art studio. It's like an art shed, like a shed with all these paintings, and something in there is the only thing that can really stop him, let's just say. And they have to figure out what it is, and they kind of find out what it is from somebody that knows him really well. So that's that book. And I can actually read the synopsis on the back, so just so you can get a better idea. So it says, in a quaint suburban neighborhood, the excitement of Halloween masks a creeping terror that has lingered for years. 12-year-old Emma and her friends, who live on Maple Street, look forward to a night of fun and sweet treats, but their adventure turns sinister when they encounter the chilling legend of Black Rain, the killer clown. As the youthful revelry unfolds, the specter of past tragedies emerges from the shadows, bringing with it a night filled with screams and dark revelations. When the friends witness the grotesque clown in the woods, their innocent Halloween turns into a battle for survival. Driven by fear and fueled by their unwavering bond, Emma and her friends navigate a nightmarish landscape filled with paranoia and dread, ultimately realizing that the true horror lies not just in the clown's haunting laughter, but within the hearts of those who have suffered. In a race against time to confront their own fears and reclaim their neighborhood, they must uncover the truth behind Black Rain's madness before he claims more lives. The Clown on Maple Street, the first novel in the Tales of Halloween anthology series, weaves a chilling tale of courage, friendship, and the haunting consequences of a past that refuses to remain buried as the children discover that sometimes the stories we fear the most are the ones ringing true in the shadows. So that's the first book. Okay. So the second one is also out. This one just got released this month, earlier this month. Again, with the green screen. If you can see it. There you go. Tales of Halloween, The Scarecrow's Curse. This is the shortest one I have so far out of all of them written, released or unreleased. This one is 15 chapters. The chapters in this one are really short. They're only like 3 pages. But I really wanted to make more chapters but less reading pages, if that made sense. Do something different. So this one instead of me just describing, I just read the back for you. It'll just be easier. So this one says, in the heart of every community lies a tapestry woven from the threads of joy, connection, and the traditions that bind its people together. As the seasons change and the autumn leaves fall, townsfolk often gather to celebrate their shared history and their bountiful harvest, transforming their streets into a vibrant festival of laughter and love. Yet lurking beneath the surface of merriment can lie shadows of the past, echoes of unheeded fears and unresolved darkness that, if left unacknowledged, may rise again to challenge even the strongest bonds. The Scarecrow's Curse, the second novel in the Tales of Halloween anthology series, takes readers on a chilling journey through the small Midwestern town of Briarwood, where the Harvest Festival, a cherished tradition steeped in history, harbors a sinister secret. Trapped within the very soil of the town is an ancient curse tied to a once I don't know why I can't pronounce this word lately. Innocuous scarecrow who's
It's your book, man.
I know, no, it's the word. I've been stumbling on that word lately when I've been reading it. I don't know why I can't pronounce it right, but it's once innocuous scarecrow whose existence becomes a harbinger of despair and vengeance when its tale is reawakened. As the moments of celebration unfold, the townsfolk must confront the consequences of their collective neglect, grappling with the age-old question: can hope and unity persevere in the shadow of fear? The story invites you to explore the depths of community resilience and the power of shared heritage, while reminding us that the most daunting battles are often fought not simply against external forces, but against the darkness that resides within. In this novel, journey alongside the brave souls of Briarwood as they navigate their fate against the looming specter of Old Man Wicker. Witness the poignant tale of loss, redemption, and the haunting legacy of choices made or avoided. As the clock ticks and the shadows gather, prepare to face the harrowing consequences of despair entwined with the beauty of human connection. Welcome to the small suburban town of Briarwood, where the echoes of the past shape the present and the future seems forever uncertain. So that one's a really good one. Now, the thing about this book is unlike the previous one I read, The Clown on Maple Street, and the next one I'm going to show you.
Hmm.
This one only has one, two, three characters that are named. Um, One is Old Man Wicker, the Scarecrow. There's the hero Jordan. Is it? No, it's not Jordan. Jordan Holloway, I think it is. I get him mixed up with my character from Samhain and his father, who is the mayor. But the mayor is only shown in a flashback, like is mentioned in a flashback scene. So there's technically in real world time only two characters that are named, but there are other characters present, just listed as Briarwood Citizen or Fearful Woman type of thing. Because I wanted to do something different. And also with it, for example, I have them broken up. Of course, you won't be able to see it. I have them broken up into subsections and headers for that one. And then the other one I have, let's see if this one will show. The Harvest Moon Witch. Love this cover. My designer did a great job on this one.
Is that like the Wicked Witch of the West from Wizard of Oz?
Kinda, but not really. I based it off of my favorite video game from the 90s, Banjo-Kazooie. To the point that the name of the characters are the same, Gruntilda. I love this witch,
Really? That sounds like something you do in a washroom.
right? So this one is my favorite book I have written. Honestly, my favorite book I have honestly written is this one so far. Out of any book I've ever written, this is my favorite because it was so much fun. It has so many twists and turns. And about this one, it has a bunch of, and I'll read the back shortly, but it has a bunch of characters named, all females, and then they have their children all named. And then you have the witch who is doing so many twists and turns, and it's like a modern day supernatural slasher, if that makes sense. Like we're base, and I don't want to give much away, but you have like fireballs and you have like things like that, and it's really good. So, anyways, if I'm not biased. But it says, in the quiet shadows of a small, quiet, fun-spirited village, where laughter once blossomed among families and warm hearts glow with love, a darkness loomed that would change everything. This story unfolds in a world where magic intertwines with reality, where the fragility of trust can be manipulated, and where power can eclipse even the deepest bonds of affection. Gruntilda, a green-skinned witch, comes to carve a niche amidst the hearts of the village children. To create a childlike coven to heal her lonely yet sadistic heart, her enchanting facade beguiles the mothers who wish to protect their offspring, only to find themselves unwitting pawns in a sinister game. The devastating loss of guardians ignites a tragic metamorphosis, and the joyous innocence of the childhood is usurped by a darkness that threatens to consume not just the village, but all that is good and nurturing within the world. As the village mothers, those fierce and loving protectors, struggle against time and betrayal, the witch's ambitions blossom viciously, transforming a world of light into one steeped in shadows. Trust dissolves, alliances shattered, and the consequences of choices ripple through time. This tale invites you into the realm of wicked whims, heartfelt losses, and the terrifying power of manipulation. It explores when happen it explores what happens when darkness preys on the innocence and the extent to which love can be twisted. Through a spellbinding narrative filled with moments of horror and betrayal, the fast line between good and evil blurs, revealing the depths of ambition and the darkness that lies within. Join us as we venture into the world where the laughter of children intertwines with the cackles of a witch, and where power comes at a devastating cost. The unfolding story of Gruntilda and the village will leave you pondering the true essence of love, sacrifice, and the haunting potential of every heart. So it's really good. Basically, it happens where the climax of the story is where the title of the book comes into play, the Harvest Moon Witch. And basically she culminates as the moon blood like bleeds and turns into the harvest moon, and that's when she wants all of her power to reign supreme. And I will let you know, as a spoiler alert for this book, there is not a happy ending.
So they don't go to a massage parlor?
They will not go to a spa, a massage parlor, and they will not take a venture into, Scotty's underpants.
Well, I know how to fix that ending. You just have Brett Harris go in there and smother the witch with a pair of your underpants.
There you go. It might do exactly what the water does in back in 1939.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
also, I want to mention, I'm not going to go into details exactly what it's about, because I wasn't planning on doing this because I didn't announce it yet on my public mediums, but I was going to announce it when this book releases, and I will announce it for the first time on your show. The fourth book's title is The Vampire, and now this is going to confuse a lot of people, but you got to read the book to find out why. The Vampire That Dreaded Sundown. Because vampires likes the night, but this one
Maybe
does
he's a
not.
sparkly vampire like Twilight.
No, that is not.
Lord
Let's just say
forbid.
this vampire is based off of Bela Lugosi.
Oh, nice.
Yes, that he's
Nice.
very sophisticated, very suave, with his demeanor, but he's also very batshit evil and can transform into bats and hypnotize people. But he is not named Dracula. I named him Mordecai. I think that's really clever. I like that.
Yeah. You didn't name
Yes.
him Brett Harris?
But if you want to find out what the Vampire that dreaded sundown is about and why he does dread sundown, you got to buy the book. I will not tell you when it's going to be released, and I will
Is
not
the
tell you what the book is
vampire that
about.
Is the
Huh?
vampire that dreaded sundown? Is he in the town that dreaded sundown?
That's where
Because
I
that.
got the title from, but it is not related, no. But if you want to
Uh,
find out what the book is about and the synopsis of it, just follow my socials. S McCoy author on Facebook, and when I release the name of the book to the public on there, it'll include the synopsis. Yes. And also that book is unique, kind of like the Scarecrow's Curse. With the Scarecrow's Curse, I have it like broken up into headings, like into subheadings throughout the chapter. Well, let's just say that by a certain time, midnight on Halloween, is when everything comes to fruition, when everything is going to happen. The book starts a couple of days prior to Halloween, so you'll see throughout each chapter from start to end, it'll have like, I don't remember the dates off the top of my head, but like October 28th, and it's in the 1700s, so like October 28th, 17 whatever, and then it'll say like 7:08 a.m. or whatever, you know what I mean? It counts down all the way to the time that everything culminates and everything happens. And it's a pretty, I like that one too. That came out really good. That was a really good book, and I'm very happy with how that came out. And I can't wait for everybody to read these books. Like I said, if you're not a fan of like witches or clowns, but you like the concept of, say, the Scarecrow's Curse, you could read the Scarecrow's Curse and not read the first book, and it because they're completely different stories. Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, and you can get them on Amazon. They're all the same price. They're all 9.99 on Amazon. Just pick them up, and if you want a hardcover copy, not all of them are offered as hardcover, because the publishing company told me that they can only make hardcover after when it's so many pages. And I think the only one that's not hardcover so far is the second book, The Scarecrow's Curse, mainly because that one is less than 75 pages, and they can only make hardcover of 75 pages or more. That one's not hardcover, but you can pick it up at hardcover. The ones that are hardcover are 17.99. Yeah.
What's wrong? You couldn't stretch some words together to make it 75 pages? What's
I
wrong
was
with you?
thinking about it, but I'm like, I don't know. Like, I really like if I do that, I don't know if I'm gonna be changing the plot or adding details that might make something confusing or contradict something that I might have said before earlier, and I just didn't want to deal with that. I thought the book that I had was really good, and I thought it was really well. I know a couple of people bought that book, and they actually said they were shocked by the ending. They actually thought that when something happened at the end that it was gonna be like it was gonna happen, and it was a complete mind fuck. And Brett, this is coming from a killer clown, man. He said that the first book, The Clown on Maple Street, literally uh fucked his mind. Like he said, I couldn't believe what I read.
No,
He's like,
no,
I
no.
wanted to
He
kill this
said
clown.
your boxers with your face on them fucked his mind. Oh.
Brett said he never realized how strong that book was. Like he didn't realize how strong my writing was. Like when he read that book, he's like,
Hmm.
"That's crazy." Like I wanted to kill that clown. He was so damn evil. And then he's like, "Wait, I'm that clown." He's like, "Do
Yeah.
people want to kill me?" So you got to ask Brett what he thought about the book when you interview him.
Oh, yeah. I'll have him
Yeah,
back on. Yeah.
yeah.
So tell me, did you see any, like, I guess 2024 was a really good year for horror films.
Oh yeah.
Did you see any good horror films last year?
Oh yeah, it's and not. I mean, I did see some new ones, but some other new one. There was like even older ones that I didn't see before I watched that were pretty decent. But I watched. I saw it in theaters. The Strangers Chapter One, which I didn't think was that bad. I'm
Oh, I
actually.
thought it was that bad.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that bad, but I expected that because if you watch all
It's
the other
basically
Strangers,
the same
it
friggin'
was.
movie as the first one, except why do you go from the first one where you had, like Lev Tyler and whatnot, to this? Like,
Yeah,
now I wasn't even a fan of the first movie, but it's like,
yeah,
why are you doing the same thing?
yeah,
And not only that, what was friggin' frustrating with it, they had a chance to gun one of them down at one point, and they don't do. I'm like, you stupid
yeah.
morons. Yeah, I can't share your enthusiasm for that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, yeah. I like those type of movies because they do freak me out because of like that can happen to anybody. You know what I mean? Like they don't have a motive. Their motive is you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. So why I'm bored, so I'm gonna kill you. Like, that's kind of like what like that freaks me out because that could happen in any real world situation. Was it good? It wasn't obviously it wasn't the greatest movie I've seen in the year, but it was a movie I did see. I am looking forward to the second chapter and I will watch it. But one movie that I did see that was probably my favorite horror movie that came out in theaters was Terrifier 3.
Yeah, I miss the little pale girl in it,
Yeah.
but I gotta admit, I love Lauren Lavera. I'd like to
Yeah.
meet her,
Yeah,
you
she's great.
know.
I
I
met
like her.
Elliot Fulham and he's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, I did like Terrifier 3. I
Yeah.
This is the first one of those we got in our theater here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Um, I gotta admit, I find it funny some of the cameos that are in that film.
Yeah.
Out of everybody, like they had the situation at the mall. And out of everybody they interview out Christmas shopping, Tom Savini is like,
Yeah.
yeah, really, Tom, we're gonna buy that you're out
Right.
having a
And
family
the funny,
day.
do you know what the funny part about that is? Because wasn't he involved with one of the zombie movies that was took place in
Oh
a
yeah,
mall?
Dawn of the
Yeah.
Dead.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that was really cool. And yeah, I will admit the last death scene with the rats, that made me gag. I don't like
Yeah,
rats. And seeing rats being flamethrowed into down someone's throat and then have them slit the throat and then the rats coming out. Yeah,
yeah,
that got me. That got me.
yeah. But I like the Terrifier films. I've had David Howard Thornton on here,
Hmm.
and I've had Michael Levi, who is
Yep.
in the first one is the Exterminator.
Yep.
But um, I know I would, and I've met a bunch of them at Frightmare in the Falls. I met
Hmm.
David Howard Thornton. I met Damien Leone
Hmm.
and the two female victims
Yeah.
from the first one.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind meeting the little pale girl because she freaked me out more than Art the Clown. And I'd like to meet Lauren Lavera
Yeah.
because
Lauren Lavera is going to be in Baltimore at Monster Mania.
I
I'm
think she's pretty
debating.
cool. And I
She
heard
is.
she was a stunt double for Anna Taylor-Joy, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I really see that. But
Yeah.
she's pretty badass. I like her.
Yeah, I'm debating going to meet her. If I go to Monster Mania, I'm not gonna probably go as VIP this year. Because it's just too much money. I'm probably gonna go. Maybe I might go both nights. I don't know yet, but I am gonna. I met Elliot Fulham before. I might meet him again. I mean, David Howard Thornton's gonna be there. I would use my VIP on him, but I mean, he'll be at Monster Mania again in Baltimore another time. I know he will. He'll be back. So I'll get him another time, but I would meet Lauren Lavera and Elliot Fulham. Elliot, I already got a picture with, but I didn't get his autograph, so I do want to get his auto. I'd never met Lauren. I would like to meet her.
Hmm.
But Lauren Lavera is probably my favorite final girl now.
Oh,
And
I
I,
like her.
yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
if this is a 2023 or a 2024 movie off the top of my head. It might be 2024, but I seen it in 2024, and it's Stream.
You know what? We didn't get that here, and I believe it's 2024.
Yeah.
But my name, I don't know whether my name's in it or whether I think my picture is in the movie.
I think your picture is in it because I remember seeing this. I remember saying to my mother-in-law, "Hey,
Yeah, the
Greg."
picture of me with the, I don't know whether it's a picture of me with the snake on me or whether, I don't know.
Might be. It might
But
be. But yeah, it was a good movie. I didn't see it in theaters. We didn't have it in theaters neither because it was such a small release. But I did buy it on Amazon and it was really good.
yeah, I'm waiting to see if it's on Blu-ray.
Let's just say the kills are, you could tell they're done by Damien Leone
Hmm.
because the kills are
Is
terrifying.
that his, how do you, is that his name? Damien Leone?
Yeah, that's how it's pronounced. At
So I
least
was
that's what
fucking
I've
saying it
been hearing.
wrong the whole time.
That's how I've been hearing a lot of people saying it Damien Leone, even in interviews when they're interviewing him. So that's how I'm saying it now.
Shit, I called him Damien Leone even when I met him. No
Yes.
disrespect intended, It's
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So he did the special effects on there. Obviously, the deaths weren't as gory as the Terrifier movies, but they were pretty clever. And I think the one that really, well, it didn't gag me or anything like the rat scene by any means, but the one I really like and stream, and I won't really spoil it as much as I can. I'll try not to, but they played tic-tac-toe on somebody.
Tell me, is Danielle Harris badass on it?
She is, but I was. Do you want spoiler?
No.
Okay, so she's a badass in it, but you don't see her much. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
It's like she probably wanted a lot of money for it, so they didn't fit her in a lot.
Oh, I remember meeting her as Scout Taylor Compton at
Yeah, I met them. They were so
Brentman.
great.
You know, I gotta say I was harsh on Scout for a long time
Yeah,
because of prices and this and that. Um, Here's the thing. I remember I got two guests booked at Frightmare in the Falls, and I hear these fucking keyboard mouth breathers on there running their dick lickers because they want this person, this person. I hate to inform them, but Jamie Lee Curtis, the chances of her doing a con,
yeah,
because Sean Clark has even said this, are slim to none.
yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean that she won't,
Right,
but it's not likely. I wish that
right.
people would shut the fuck up about it.
I would
And when
love to
somebody,
meet her at a convention, but I'm telling you, it's not gonna happen. You
and
can
then
hope and you can dream,
oh my
but it's not
goodness,
gonna happen.
they were suggesting Christian Bale. That's definitely not going to happen.
No.
Like he is way too mainstream.
Like you're gonna get Christopher Bale and Jamie Lee Curtis. If you're ever gonna get them at a convention, it's gonna be at San Diego Comic Con. It's gonna be at New York Comic Con. The big, big, big conventions where it's
Well,
gonna be worth their while.
old Jamie Lee, when she did that first one, was for charity, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
so these people like they're like Jenna Ortega, she's not going to do one right now.
Uh.
Like it's like stop with like I'd like to meet Emma Stone, but I'm not going to suggest her because I mean now
Yep.
you got people that were A-list back in the 70s and 80s that are doing conventions now, like
Right.
Richard Dreyfuss and
Yep.
people like that. But
William Shatner and even Corey Feldman. I wouldn't say he's A-list, but Corey Feldman
here's the
was big
thing
in
with
the
William
80s.
Shatner. The reason I understand Shatner because
Hmm.
of the Star Trek thing.
Right.
And when Comic Con started, it was mainly, and I read up on this, it was mainly a thing amongst, what we now call nerds.
Right.
And it mainly was in and around like your Star Trek and your Star
Yeah.
Wars, and it just slowly evolved and evolved and evolved and
Yeah.
evolved. So I understand William Shatner. That doesn't
Yeah.
surprise me. As far
Yeah.
as Corey Feldman goes, I mean, he was popular in the 80s, but to me, he's never really been A-list.
Oh,
But
he's
so
definitely
I
not A-list. Yeah.
Yeah, so I get him
Yeah.
being at them. Richard Dreyfuss, I'm surprised because
Yeah.
he was, of course, he's not as active anymore. So I kind of get it now,
Right.
But
And I wouldn't say,
now,
I mean, this person really isn't A-list neither, but he's known really well. And I know we talked about this before, but David Arquette. And David Arquette is absolutely amazing meeting
David
him. Like
Arquette's not A-list,
he's not
no.
A-list, but he definitely was amazing to meet. I met him a while ago, a couple years ago, and we did a hug, but we didn't get it on camera. We just got a hug as I was leaving. And he saw me a couple of months ago, back in October, and he came up to me and asked for a hug, and we got a picture with it. And we went to a party together, and he kept buying me Jack Daniels, and now I have the story that David Arquette got me drunk on Jack.
Another one who's not A-lister now due to stuff going on the courts and
Mhm.
stuff with him, controversy, but I mean, Kevin Spacey's doing the cons now.
Yeah,
This is a
yeah,
two-time Oscar winner.
yeah,
And I know there's people complaining, saying, "Oh, he shouldn't be there." Blah blah blah. Sean Clark put it best: quit bitching and complaining. If you don't want to meet him,
right,
don't go meet him.
right,
I'd go meet Kevin Spacey because I loved
yeah,
American Beauty, among other things that he's
yeah,
been in.
What do you
So
think about Kevin Bacon or Johnny Depp doing a con? I don't know about Johnny Depp, but
they're neither one are going to do it.
okay. The only
Neither
reason why
one.
I think Kevin Bacon may have a more have a slight chance is because his daughter does them. So she may
Yeah,
convince him.
but don't count too much on his
Oh, I
daughter
wouldn't
doing too
count on
many
it. Yeah, but
because
I
she just did Nosferatu. She was doing
yeah,
them whenever she had was most known for
that's
yoga
true.
hosers,
Yeah. I met Susie Bacon and she was really nice to me. She was really nice.
Oh, you don't know, you're talking fuck.
Who do you think I was talking about?
Lily Rose Depp,
Oh, no, I'm talking about Kevin Bacon.
you know,
Yeah.
but I'll tell you,
Yeah.
no, Johnny Depp, the likelihood of him doing one are
Yeah.
slim to none.
Yeah.
I mean, he's less likely to do one than Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah. I now Kevin Bacon on the other hand, he has a higher chance because of Susie doing them. So she might
No,
talk. Don't you
I
think
don't.
she could talk him into doing one with her? You
No,
don't think?
because Kevin Bacon just did Maxine as well.
Oh, that's true.
I'm not very optimistic about Kevin Bacon doing
Yeah.
them. Like the only reason Richard Dreyfuss is doing them, I think, is because Dreyfuss is kind of at that retirement age. Although
Right.
I'm not saying that he can't do any,
Right.
but
Oh, another A-lister though that is doing them. He's not an actor. Is he an actor? I know he's a director. Eli Roth.
he's not A-list. But
You don't
yeah,
think?
no,
I,
no.
I love Eli Roth.
He's hit or miss for me.
Yeah. I just saw Thanksgiving. It was actually
I
really
did
good.
like Thanksgiving.
That was really good.
Now, when I was at Frightmare in the Falls, they had a Thanksgiving. They had to, must have been about 10 or 12 people from
Right.
Thanksgiving. I couldn't meet them all.
Yeah.
And Eli Roth wound up being way too fucking expensive.
Oh, he is
So,
expensive. Yeah, I do know
so I
that.
didn't bother to meet him, but I'll tell you what I did do. They have mostly male cast, but the last moment, two of the females were at it. So I met the
Nice.
two females.
Nice. I know
Yeah.
Sam Raimi's doing them as well.
Yeah, but again, not
No,
well.
he's not A-list. I mean,
He's not A-list, but I'm gonna say you one thing. He's closer to it due to Spider-Man.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because Spider-Man was a lot more mainstream than Evil Dead.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, but but I don't expect to see uh I definitely don't expect to see Johnny Depp or Kevin Bacon do these.
Right.
Although I am gonna say this,
Yeah.
I'm surprised that you see Catherine Newton doing them.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, I'd love to meet Catherine Newton. I think she's hysterical. She's hysterical. She's funny.
Yeah.
I love Freaky.
Yeah.
She is freaky, but she's funny. But
Yeah.
she's starting to pop up in these.
Yeah.
But I'd go meet her for sure.
Yeah.
But but a lot of people are making a lot of these outrageous.
Yeah.
I if I'm going to recommend people for a con, I'm going to recommend people that are it's reasonable that they could be brought in,
Right.
you know?
Like a Friday the 13th, a Halloween cast member, people that would be able to do it. Like you mentioned before when we were on the phone, Melanie Kinnaman,
Oh yeah, I'd go
even a
meet her.
Shavar Ross would probably do it because he's done cons, you know.
Yeah, but that's where I fall on that. Like Jenna Ortega's not doing cons right now.
Right.
Um, that'll be a long time.
Yeah.
Like now, what? Now I digress. That's not to say that they can't.
Right.
And if they do pop into something, it might be a Comic Con because it's the
Yeah.
biggest one.
Yeah.
But again,
Yeah.
the likelihood of it is not
Yeah. I would love to where was I going with that? Oh yeah,
like
huh?
I mean, I know at Fan Expo one year they had John Travolta was there for the Fanatic.
Right.
Now, that was a big one,
Uh-huh.
but I know he was only there for limited time.
Yeah,
And I've heard that Stallone and Schwarzenegger have been at one or two. Those it's rare, but I also think account that also to their age.
yeah,
You don't, and of course they're still working. You still see them every once in a while. But here's the
right,
deal: is that I don't know how old Stallone and Schwarzenegger are right now, but you don't see them in 3 or 4 movies a year like you
right.
did back in the 80s. So
Yeah,
they're at that age where,
yeah,
sure, they could show
right.
up at one of these, but
Yeah.
but even with them,
Hmm.
it's not highly likely. I was surprised last year at Fan Expo, which I wasn't at that, and this guy ended up canceling, but I would have loved to have met him. But they had John Cleese scheduled, and I'm like,
Oh wow.
holy shit,
Wow.
John Cleese, like
That's
that's gold to me.
right. I would love to meet and interview, which will never happen for either of them. Would be Rachel Howard and Jennifer Cook, and you know it's never gonna happen. But I really want to at least interview them. But I mean, it would be great to see them do a convention, but it's just never gonna happen, especially with Rachel Howard.
I got to see Tracy. I've had Tracy Savage on 6 time,
Yeah,
and I was all dreamy meeting her. So
that's great.
I was all dreamy meeting her. Actually, this second here, got my bag of wonderment stuff here because I mean I got. Let me see. Hey, I got a nice bag of goodies here of stuff. But I mean, we have
Hmm.
show you some stuff.
Sure.
My stash. Tracy Savage recognized me right away.
Nice.
She doesn't fall into the Judy Aronson, oh, you done it. No. She signed this. This is an original Friday the 13th Part 3 script.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It says original script. Thanks for all the great conversations. Tracy Savage, Debbie. I haven't read this yet, but I got to at some point. I've just been so freaking busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd think with me having 2 jobs, I'd have more time.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
So is there any like deaths or anything in that do you think that are different?
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't read it yet, but
Yeah.
I got that picture.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's one of her like I guess quote unquote famous pictures from the
Oh
film.
my goodness. She's just gorgeous. And she still looks beautiful, you
Yeah.
know. But Greg, I I vote for the hammock. Tracy Savage Debbie. Oh my goodness, she looks beautiful.
Yeah.
She got a lot of business from me, including a photo op.
Hmm.
And this one here says to Greg, hey, the van's on fire. Tracy Savage Debbie, this is a nice picture.
She was the one that said that, wasn't she, in the movie?
Yep,
For some reason I kept thinking Chris was the one that said it, but it was Debbie.
it was Debbie. And then I got this one to Greg, Tracy Savage, Debbie. My
Nice.
goodness. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good one. And
yeah,
like even when you see her, like I was surprised that you could even you they even showed her body with the knife in it and Chris pulling it out in the closet.
yeah.
Like that was a good scene. Like the way they did it really looked legit, looked good.
I met Suzanne Snyder from Killer
Oh, nice,
Clowns from Outer Space.
nice,
This, of course, is from Weird Science. Yeah,
nice.
yeah. She says, Dear Greg, whatever you are, I like it. She was nice to meet. I
Hmm.
liked meeting Suzanne Snyder. She is a
Nice.
tiny girl too, I'll tell you
Yeah,
that. And I've met Danielle Harris before. Oh, I met Tom Savini. He signed my Friday the 13th, the final chapter.
nice.
Blu-ray, so I don't have a photo of him, but I got that Blu-ray signed. I got quite a few of my Friday the 13th signed. But
Right.
I've met Danielle Harris before,
Mhm.
so this might be my second or third photo of hers that I
Right.
got signed.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
I met Daniel Harris back in October, and she was really nice. And she loved my shirt. And
Yeah.
my shirt ended up it said where I because I always wear pajamas all the time. Anywhere I go, I wear pajamas. And my shirt said it said eat popcorn, wear pajamas, and watch horror movies.
I think Danielle thinks I'm a perv.
Does she?
But well, I asked her about there's a photo, and I guess it's a movie with her being abducted by Mickey Rourke.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't know that. It was this photo of she's bound and gagged and there's a big long rope thing coming from behind her and Scout Taylor Compton's on the other end.
Uh-huh.
And I asked what that was all about. I said, was that an off time thing? Was she taking you for a walk? And she answered me, but I brought it up again to Scout and Daniel Harris. I forget the word she said, but she said, "Yeah, you like that, don't you?"
Danielle's cool, and Scout was really cool too. I was actually, like I said, I was on the fence of meeting her too. She was a last minute addition to the con. I already bought my bloodbath photo op with Danielle, and I didn't want to obviously get another one with Scout because she was at it last minute, and I would have upgraded if I knew we could do that with both of them. But I ended up getting meeting her when she was there because she accepted Venmo, and she was so nice.
hmm
Well, that's cool, Christina Elise.
Christina Lees. Now she had canceled the first year I did
Uh-huh.
Frightmare in the Falls, and she told me
Right.
it was because her dad was ill.
Right.
Says to Greg, "You've seen dolls that pee. This one bleeds."
Yeah, that's one of my favorite quotes.
So
How is she? Is she nice?
I liked her. I did. Um,
She's
I
really cool.
liked
She
her.
was really cool to me. I never met her, but we talk on Facebook every now and again. She actually is the I interviewed her and we when I interviewed her, she actually set me up with Alex Vincent to interview him.
And of course, I've met Warrington Gillette before.
Yeah.
So this is
Yeah.
like, I think, the second photo of him I
Yeah.
got done.
Nice. He was cool. I
Yeah.
met him twice as well. He's really cool.
Yeah, I enjoyed meeting him.
Hmm.
This, like I said, I've met him there before. Um, and I met this to Greg, heavy shit, David
I
Cadams.
never met him. I had him on the show. I never met him. He's really cool though. How was he in person?
I liked him, and he doesn't look like that anymore. But but I I've had him on twice now.
Hmm.
I asked him, whether the hotel he's staying at um, accommodated him with an outhouse with a moon cut in the door. And he said, no, he's got to smoke his joint somewhere else. And this is the second time now I've met CJ Graham.
Hmm.
He hasn't been on the show yet. I'm going to give him one last shot, but I got that photo of him.
I had him on my show. It was hard to get in touch with him. He canceled on me like three times, and we
Oh,
rescheduled it
wow.
like a total of four times. And then the fourth time, he said, I'm not gonna cancel it, but I'm gonna have to do the interview because I'm driving from like I think he said from like LA to Vancouver or something. So he said, since I'm driving, I'll be able to do the interview while I'm driving." And I'm like, "Okay, we'll do it." And we did.
Now, I remember every year at Frightmare, I've done four Frightmare in the Falls. There's
Uh-huh.
always one guest that's got the big lineup. But I remember in
Yeah.
2021, Felissa Rose was the big lineup.
Yeah.
And Felissa's, of course, awesome to meet.
Uh-huh.
2022, Danielle Harris was the big lineup. 2023, I think it was Corey Feldman. It was
Hmm.
a big lineup. Well, last year it was Shawnee Smith,
Okay.
and I got that signed by her.
Nice.
Now she was also in one of my favorite John Candy movies, Who's Harry Crumb, and I said to her, I said, what if it was Harry Crumb investigating the Saw murders?
Hmm.
And boy, did she get stuck on that. She said we couldn't possibly do it without John, but she wrote that down on his post-it note.
Nice.
I think she liked that. But
Nice.
she was consistently busy all weekend.
Right. Now, are you planning on going to like Frightmare in the Falls or Horror or any of that in 2025?
Well, I'll get to that.
Okay.
Um, to Greg, I promise I'll watch because I talked to this person about Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Mhm.
Jenna Warren
Oh, nice.
from Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
She's she's pretty in person, I'll tell you that. Really
Nice.
pretty. And then of course, Greg saved me. Karen cliche from Thanksgiving.
Nice.
Yeah. So I couldn't meet all the Thanksgiving people. They had a lot of people meeting them,
Hmm.
but I was like, well, I'll do this. Now, I had a couple of last minute people I met on the last day. I went and I met Grant Kramer from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Um, I got a picture of him with Suzanne Snyder. He
Nice.
also was involved. I think he was a director of Willy's Wonderland, and I've interviewed
Okay.
a couple people from that. He
Hmm.
loved that I loved Willy's Wonderland.
Nice.
He loved that I loved it.
Hmm.
But then I met Scout. And
Yeah.
I had fun with Scout, and I got that one signed by Scout.
Nice.
Yeah, I got that one signed by Scout. I asked her, I said, Did Daniel Harris have you committed there?" And of course, did my very first photo ops. I'd never done them before. And
Yeah.
I think it's because Tracy Savage was there. I was like, I gotta do a photo op with
Yeah.
Tracy Savage.
Yeah.
So, so it's Greg to my favorite podcast host and good friend, Tracy Savage, Debbie Perthree. I had that done with her.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, the photo ops they're relatively really quick, but the pictures are beautiful.
yeah. Well, the big one, like the Killer Clowns one, there was a lot,
Hmm.
but you were in different lineups. I just wanted a photo op with Suzanne Snyder.
Hmm.
And when I met her, she said to me, she said, because hers was a special photo, she said, okay, um, club, gun, or pie? Like, pie, of course. Anybody that knows me. Look at that.
Nice.
That's a fake
Nice.
pie, of course, but
That's awesome.
yep.
That's awesome.
So I told her the significance of that.
Hmm.
Now, I don't know how many times in her life that she's gotten a pie in the face, but she said she doesn't like cake in the face. And I didn't bother for too much time, but I wanted to ask her, what's the significance about that?
And
But
even
she,
with if you do the Doubtfire, you don't have to do a real pie. Like I didn't do a real
no,
pie.
but she,
Yeah.
I don't know how many times in her life she's been pied, but
Yeah.
I'm assuming that that's not the only time.
Well, that's true.
But yeah, but sh she was fun, but she was tiny. Like she was
Okay.
just a tiny little thing. But she was friendly, and that always goes a long way. So those are the ones that I'm at Frightmare in the Falls. But
Good.
yeah, and I had a lot of fun with that.
Hmm.
But meeting Tracy Savage was a big one for me.
Yeah,
Yeah, I really wanted
definitely.
to meet her. But Um, but yeah, we're talking about horror films from last year. Is that all you saw?
No, I saw others. What else? Now I'm not saying they're all 2024 movies, but I saw the one that's on. It's a Peacock original. I know it's not 2024, but I saw They Them.
I don't know that one. I heard of it.
So basically, a bunch of like LGBTQ people go to a gay conversion camp type of thing, and Kevin Bacon is the guy that runs it. And he basically says, yeah, and he basically says, when you're here, it's your decision by the time you leave on if you're really gay, straight, or bi, or trans, or whatever you are. And then, as the days are going on, they're getting abused by them, and they're actually homophobic people. And the people that are like the campers are like the LGBTQ. They're not the ones being targeted to be killed. It's really the people that like the people in charge of the camp because of everything because
Well,
of their
Kevin
beliefs.
Bacon, he got his got his when he tangled with Mia Goth and Maxine. I enjoyed Maxine. I loved X.
Yeah,
I love Pearl. I enjoyed Maxine. I
yeah,
love Mia Goth. She is fucking nuts.
yeah,
I love Mia Goth.
yeah,
Um, yeah. You were talking about Sophie Bacon earlier. I liked
yeah.
what they did with Smile too. They went in a
Okay,
totally different direction with Smile too.
nice.
Like Sophie Bacon's not in Smile too.
She isn't.
No.
I never saw Smile. I didn't see Smile 2 yet.
Oh, you need to check it out because
Yeah,
they did a great job following it up.
yeah.
But
Okay,
if
I will.
but the fact that they did it this way
Uh-huh.
tells me that they can keep going with this
Okay.
because what they did, a lot of horror films, what happens is they lose their luster because it's the same
Hmm.
shit over and over
Right,
and
right.
over and over. What I liked here, because this time the focus is on a pop star,
Hmm.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's connected to the first film, but
Okay.
at the same token, it's like goes a whole different route.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also I saw the Mousetrap on Tubi. Not good.
You saw you saw a mouse trap on the toilet? Is that what you said?
I wish. No, I
Yeah.
saw the Mousetrap. That wasn't really that good. Me and my mother-in-law watched that. It was basically a killer Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, I know. After Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, it's like everybody's doing these now.
Yeah. And I saw that was my next one. I saw Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 1 and 2. Second one was a
I haven't
2024.
seen the second one. Actually, I've interviewed Craig David Dowsett twice, and I
Okay.
met him at Frightmare in the Falls. He was the Winnie the Pooh in the first one,
Yes.
and
Was he in the
he's
second one?
no,
I
I
didn't know if
don't
he was
know,
the one in the second one or not.
but I'll tell you one thing: he's great to meet if you get a chance.
Okay.
Yeah, I enjoyed meeting
Okay.
him. He's been on here twice. Um, I jumped on the bandwagon with Winnie the Pooh, Blood and
Uh-huh.
Honey early,
Okay.
because I just thought it was a weird concept. And now it's
Yeah.
like they got Bambi's Revenge coming out and all that stuff. And
Yep.
I'm like, you know what?
And they have a scream boat.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
here's the thing. Here's what I'm thinking. A lot of people are complaining about it. And I'm kind of like, you know what? I say go
Yep.
for it. If you can make something
Definitely.
interesting, go for it. It's actually
Definitely.
kind of funny that they're taking these public domain IEPs and doing this. I'm like,
Yep.
go for it, have fun.
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey was obviously low on its budget,
Yeah.
but Craig does a fine job as Winnie the Pooh,
Yeah.
especially when he's surrounded by a bunch of guys that want to beat the
Yeah.
shit out of him and he ends up retaliating. I'm like,
Exactly. I enjoyed it.
I had a good time interviewing him, and I had
Yeah.
I also had the girl on that was hogtied in the middle of the road as
Uh-huh.
well.
Oh
I had
wow.
her on the show, yeah,
Okay.
and she enjoyed it.
Nice.
But
I'm currently looking on Google because I can't remember all the movies I saw. I know I saw a lot more than that, but I
well, I'll
can't.
tell you some highlights for me.
Yeah, tell me.
Um, the Substance I enjoyed,
Okay.
and I so hope Demi Moore gets the Oscar. because she's done so much crap in her
Right.
career. I was blown away at seeing her. I don't think she's ever been better than she was in The Substance. And
Okay.
of course, Margaret Qualley was wonderful in it. Dennis
Hmm.
Quaid's hysterical
Oh
in it.
yeah.
You
Okay.
know, I enjoyed The Substance. I recommend you check it out.
I'm gonna have to look at that one. I didn't see that one. I know Kyle mentioned that that's one that he thinks
Well,
I would like.
it's like it reminds me a lot of David Lynch and David Cronenberg.
Oh, okay.
There's body horror in it,
Okay, cool.
and you have no idea where it's headed.
Right.
You might
Okay.
have an idea, but I'm going to tell you that finale,
Yeah.
that's all I'll say.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
I enjoyed it, and I thought Demi Moore was so good in it.
Okay.
I saw Cuckoo.
Okay. How was that?
I enjoyed it,
Okay.
and I guess Hunter Schafer is she I guess trans,
Okay.
but that didn't bother me. Hunter was
Hmm.
played a great role in it.
Nice.
It was a unique film. Some people didn't like it. I did. And I thought Hunter was wonderful in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, was wonderful in it.
Nice.
Um, let me see. Oh, did you see in a Violent Nature?
That one I did see, yes.
Now I've met Rye Barrett, who played the
Okay.
killer.
All
And if you
right.
get a chance to meet him, do so.
I would have to, yeah.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
I had him on my show before I went to Frightmare in the
Yep.
Falls. He's a great meet, and if you should get him on your show.
I will have to, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, he is excellent. Here's the thing with I like the movie. I
Hmm.
did not like the characters.
Okay.
Very flat. Now, I thought Rye Barrett's killer was interesting because it was an interesting take on it. It
Okay.
was from his point of view. I also think they got really good use of Laura Marie Taylor
Hmm.
at the tail end there. They
Yeah.
obviously had her for limited time, but boy, they got really good use out of her.
Right. Yeah.
So, um, but the other characters in the movie were so flat. But I'll
Yeah.
say this, the kills were unique, especially the yoga kill.
Yeah.
Um, but I like the fact that they were showing it from the killer's point of view. I believe Friday the 13th Part 2, I think, was an inspiration for that,
Oh, absolutely.
you know.
Absolutely.
But I gotta say, if you get a chance, interview Rye Barrett. He's a
Hmm.
great guy, and I met him at actually not tag. I forgot to show that. He signed a photo because I the Blu-ray wasn't out at the time. Otherwise, I would have got
Okay.
him to sign it. But he signed like it was like the poster but small.
Hmm.
He signed that, had him on it as the killer. So
Right.
I enjoyed that. I saw Immaculate.
Okay. How was that?
Okay, Immaculate, the pros and the cons. The cons is it's extremely generic.
Okay.
Extremely generic. However,
Hmm.
that third act does something that just made me go, they really went there. And I got the movie on Blu-ray because of it.
Nice. Nice.
Let's just say something happens at the end of that movie that you don't think they're going to do, and it's like, you know what? It's logical that any sane, thinking human being
Hmm.
would do this
Yeah.
if they know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you'll know when you see it, you
I have
know?
to, I definitely have to check that one out.
Yeah, Sydney Sweeney's in it, and she's really good. So very generic, but at the same token, I'm like, you know what? When I saw that in the theater and saw the ending of it, I was like, okay.
Right.
They
There's a
really,
movie
they,
that just came out in December. It has Tom Matthews and Felissa Rose. It's an indie film.
I
Let me
don't
think.
know it.
It's called Get Out, I think.
No, that's a Jordan Peele movie.
No, let me see. Hold on. Tom Matthews. I know he's in it because it's. I know who created. He's also did Bloody Summer Camp. Let me see. Give me a second. Go away.
Well, I can't go away. We're in the middle of an interview.
Yeah, the movies go away. It says during a family gathering, dinner is interrupted by a knock at the door. Five intruders take the guests hostage and put them through a series of sadistic games. As the night goes on, the intruders realize that they may have something to fear. I want to see that really bad. It
Did you
has
see Heretic?
huh?
Did you see Heretic?
I don't think no, I didn't.
Okay, like Demi Moore with Substance,
Yeah.
Heretic, you get to see Hugh Grant
Okay.
in a horror movie role.
Nice. Nice.
And I'll tell you, he's great.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And in Go Away, it stars Felissa Rose, Tom Matthews, Tuesday Night, as like the main I guess people. Like the people that you know, like actual celebrities.
Here's one I haven't seen. Have you seen Late Night with the Devil?
No, I haven't seen that one either.
That's one I got to look into. I've heard
Yeah.
great things about that.
Okay.
Nosferatu, I saw. I liked it, but I thought I was a little taken aback that
Okay.
Nosferatu had a mustache. Like,
I
yeah.
didn't see Nosferatu yet. I heard bad things about it, so I didn't really want to see
It's
it.
not bad. It's not bad.
Okay.
It's not bad. Check it out.
So maybe I'll have to give it a look.
You know,
Yeah.
Strange Darling, I haven't seen because we didn't get it. I'd like to see that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Heretic is really good. Check that one out.
Okay.
You get to see Hugh Grant play something interesting in that. The
All right.
Substance, I definitely recommend. You got to look at The Substance, man.
I'm gonna have to. That's
Yeah,
one that I'm gonna watch. Yeah.
because it makes quite the statement about the industry and age.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, Long Legs, I mean, it's Nicolas Cage.
Okay.
Nicolas Cage is good at being freaky.
Uh-huh.
Smile 2, I definitely recommend. Naomi
Okay.
Scott was in that. She was the heroine in it.
Okay.
Check out Smile 2, because you'll
Okay.
probably appreciate the fact that because if what they did, if they brought back Sophie Bacon, it's like everybody be clamoring to get her in every movie. I
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
fact, because right here, what this does was present it so that if they make a Smile 3, they don't have to have Sophie Bacon, they don't have to have Naomi Scott.
Right. Exactly.
I like what they did there.
Yeah.
And Naomi Scott got a lot of high praise for this. I saw the TV Glow we didn't get here. I'd like to see that,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah.
Abigail, did you see that?
That one, no, I didn't see that one either.
Catherine Newton in it, no surprise.
Okay. Yeah.
The little girl in it was awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. The first Omen wasn't bad. My favorite Omen is still the original, but first
Okay.
Omen wasn't bad. Um, Let me see. Cuckoo, of course, I saw that in Violent Nature, Terrifier 3, and um, seeing what else we got here of course, Maxine. I like I said, I enjoyed the X trilogy. I had a good time with that.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I think Mia Goth is going to be a future Oscar nominee, if
Yeah.
not a future Oscar winner.
Yeah, she's definitely got going somewhere for sure. No,
Well, she
if
was in Infinity Pool.
oh
Yeah,
really?
oh, she's good at losing her mind.
Nice, nice.
I'm trying to think, is there anything else here that I have? Because I'm just going through IMDb here on the list of these films. But no, I'm not seeing a whole lot here. But
Yeah.
Immaculate. Check out Immaculate.
Okay.
Yeah, I did enjoy Immaculate. Um, no, I'm not seeing any. Well, Lisa Frankenstein. That was done by Robin Williams' daughter, Zelda.
Oh my God, really? I heard
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
she directed it, and it's got Cather Newton. Cather Newton.
Nice.
I love Cather Newton.
That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, I love
Oh
Cather
my gosh.
Newton. Yeah, Lisa Frankenstein was all sorts of fucked up. Um, yeah, so yeah, that's about all I'm seeing on here. So, but yeah, I seen a few good ones last year, and I've given you a few good recommendations for some of these films. But The
Mm,
Substance and Heretic, one thing I'll say about them is like you got Demi Moore and you got Hugh Grant both playing
mhm.
very strong performances. Hugh Grant going totally against type. I think he's gotten kind of over playing the romantic lead in so many rom-coms, and
Yeah.
he's great at it.
Yeah.
I
He
love
is. I think you
Bridget.
just sometimes you need to go for a switch in your like a switch
Well,
in your career, you know?
Heredickie was fantastic.
Nice.
Yep. And Substance, like I said, I've never seen Demi Moore better,
Hmm.
you know. And like I said, Naomi Scott does a great job in Smile too,
Yeah.
you know. So those are ones I'd recommend that
Okay. Yeah, I'll
check
have
out.
to check. I'll definitely have to check them out.
Yeah, because they get a lot of good stuff in there. But
Yeah.
yeah, those are ones I've seen. Of course, I've seen lots of other movies as
Yeah.
well. So yeah, so um,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know what's all coming up this year that I want to see. I know Emma Stone's gonna another uh, movie coming up. I'll definitely go see because I'm always
Okay.
seeing her.
Yeah, of course. There was a couple. Let me see what's. I know there's a couple horror movies coming out this year, and I can't remember what they are off the top of my head. Let me look them up quick. I know there's a.
Yeah,
Let
I
me see.
know
Oh,
you
I know.
want.
Well, Screamboat. Screamboat we knew about.
Hmm.
Let me see. The Wolf Man,
Yeah, I plan to see that
Bambi the
soon.
Reckoning.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Final Destination Bloodlines is coming out.
I got I saw the first one in the theater. I've seen
Okay.
bits and pieces of the second one. I don't know. I've never been into that franchise.
Yeah. Yeah, and then The Strangers Chapter 2 and I Know What You Did Last Summer sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
I'm kind of like, yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Um just looking at ones that we would know the names of really.
See, this is the thing with Strangers Chapter 1. What
Yeah.
a fucking failure. And
Yeah.
then you look at Smile and you look at Smile 2,
Right.
and to me,
Megan
Strangers
2.0.
Strangers Chapter 1 makes me
Yeah.
appreciate Smile 2 even more
Yeah.
because they went a different route. Yeah, check out
Right.
Smile 2. You'll know what I'm talking about
I'll
when I
have to.
say
Yeah.
they went a whole different route with it, and it's
Yeah.
still Megan 2. You know what? I was not a big fan of Megan.
I liked Megan. I thought it was really good.
I wasn't a big fan. Now I
Really?
did like the doll,
Yeah.
especially that scene in the hallway with her and the sword. I thought that was cool. But I
Yeah.
think my issue wasn't with Megan. It was just the stupid characters,
Yeah.
you know. But
Yeah. And also
we,
with The Strangers Chapter 1, I'm surprised because you don't see it happen that often. I'm surprised that they greenlit and basically filmed all at the same time, three different movies before knowing how the first is going to do.
well, Axe and Pearl were filmed back to back
Yeah.
during the pandemic, you know.
Yeah. And I know with Strangers Chapter 2, I believe the girl survived the first movie based on
I
IMDb.
barely did. No, seriously, like anybody listening to this, you know, like I wasn't even a big fan of The
Yeah.
Strangers. You
Yeah.
know, I hated that fucking ending,
Yeah.
you know. But I'll say this, I mean, The Strangers, they got Liv Tyler in it, you know. They
Hmm.
don't have anybody of that caliber in Strangers Chapter One. And quite
Yeah.
frankly, when I see something like there's a scene where they have a chance to gun one of these people down and they don't this will make stuff like that makes me throw my hands up and say, you stupid assholes. Like I thought it was a stupid movie.
Yeah. I know
You know?
with I like The Strangers Pray at Night. That one I like that one better than the other two.
I gotta see that because I am hearing that justice was just dished out in that, but I also heard the soundtrack was good in it. So I'm like,
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. They have a lot of classic 80s songs. They have Total Eclipse of the Heart. Like they have so many good songs from the
yeah.
80s.
So I'd be open to Strangers Pray at Night,
Yeah.
you
I would
know.
definitely look at that. That was a good one. They had I forget her name off the top of my head, but she also played in flashbacks on Once Upon a Time as a young Snow White throughout a couple seasons, and she's really good. I forgot her name off the top of my head, but yeah, she's really good in that. I actually thought I'm surprised we haven't heard a lot from her recently because I thought when she did that movie, the way she portrayed that character and that I thought we were looking at the next Scream Queen because
Yeah.
she was that good.
Well, I say check out Smile 2. If you like
Mm-hmm.
Smile,
Mm-hmm.
check out Smile 2 and see because you'll know when you watch it that not only did they go a different direction,
Mm-hmm.
but you'll have confidence that they can do Smile 3
Yeah. Yeah.
without like I hope they do a Smile 3
Yeah.
because they just proven they don't have to like I notice it's like a lot of people they want Robert Englund come back to play Freddy. He's getting too old. They want Bruce Campbell to come back and play Ash. I'm going to admit my favorite Evil Dead movie was Evil Dead Rise.
That was really good.
And I love the fact it was like felt like Demons 2 in the high rise,
Right.
you know? But there were people calling it woke because you got a female. You know what?
Right.
She was badass. I
Yeah.
had no issue with her.
Yep.
And I like the fact that they were trying to take it away from where it usually is.
Yep.
And they were trying something different because because like I said, Bruce Campbell can't keep doing this forever.
Right.
And one of the things I got out of Smile 2 is that they didn't box themselves in that corner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't
Yep.
box themselves in that corner.
Yep. Kind of
So
like Friday the 13th. If they ever were to do new movies, you don't have to bring back, other actors from the other movies, even the survivors, because you can always do it with a new set of campers. All you need is somebody that can do Jason.
let's not go comparing those to Smile and
I
Smile
know.
2, please.
Well, how about this? Smile 3 starring me.
No comment. Actually, when it comes to Friday the 13th, I find now when that comes out on the calendar, it's either parts 4 or parts 6 that I watch.
Yeah, I don't even think we're getting a movie. I think they're doing that series. I think the series is back on.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. If they do that series, I want to see it done right.
Yeah.
Jason drowned in 1957. The two counselors were killed in 58.
Yep.
Bunch of fires and shit happened in the 60s. And then the original happens in 79 or whatever. I don't want to see this uh, fucking updated to today.
Hmm.
If they do that, then I'm just gonna say fuck this and no, not bother.
Right. So you don't want to see Jason at all, is what you're saying.
Nope. What I want to see,
I think we need an introduction to Elias.
well, what I want to see, like I don't want them to. I don't need it set in cell phone period.
Right. Yeah.
I get really tired of that. I don't need it modernized. I
Yeah.
don't give a shit who was alive back then or whatever.
Yeah.
I want if Jason was born in 1946, leave it at that.
And I think we should have like Jason and seeing how his childhood was, seeing how his home life was with Pamela and Elias coming into the picture. And then maybe go past
And quite
this is where he's
frankly,
being killed and seeing how did Jason survive being drowned all these years?
in fact, quite frankly, if he drowned in 1957, it's a good opportunity for them to make a film that looks like it was in the 50s.
Hmm. There's so many filters,
Like,
so many things that you can do to make it look
yeah,
that.
like play with that. But if they do it and they have him if I do this bullshit with him drowning in the 80 because that's when the first, then I'm out. I don't
Yeah.
even want to see it.
Right.
If
Like
they're going to take,
you can definitely even like if you want to resurrect Jason to use him in future seasons, for example, you can at least explain what the movies didn't. How did he survive? How why didn't he drown? How did he get out of the water when he was supposedly drowned and everybody thought his mother thought everybody thought he was dead? How did he survive on the vegetation in the wilderness? How did he grow up? How did
well,
was
you
he
know what?
raised?
There's a lot of stuff they could do in between movies,
Yeah.
like the whole Chris Hagen thing. They could do
Yeah.
something with that, you know?
Yes.
There's all kinds of stuff that they can do.
Like, was it like when he was growing up? Did he really have all that hair and look like a hillbilly, or was that all in Jenny's imagination? And was he how? Did he really look like he did in
I
part three?
don't think it has anything to do with Jenny's imagination. I think he did have hair.
I think so too. I think he actually shaved it off going into part three
Well,
to hide his identity from the cops when she was telling him.
but anyway, there's definitely stuff they can do.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the characters a lot more rounded,
Hmm.
you know?
And it's not like you're getting a movie where you get the characters for an hour and a half, and throughout the hour and a half, you're getting them killed off one by one. You're getting a series out of it, so it would be good to have characters that are likable, relatable, and mean something to the story.
Well, that's why I often go with parts 4 or 6 because
Hmm.
I found the characters
Yeah.
in those ones like the final chapter. I call it like the John Hughes of the
Hmm.
pack
Hmm.
because it looks like you look at the victims in it; they look straight out of a John Hughes movie,
Hmm.
you know. And I really like the sixth one as well,
Yeah.
you know. Especially where they added humor. But I think the fourth one's the scariest because Ted White was intense. Ted White,
Yeah.
to me, he was the best Jason.
Yeah, definitely. And
The,
like, and what the series doesn't need is they don't need the stereotypes. So they don't need a part seven. They don't need the stoner. They don't need the slut. They don't need the bitch. They don't need the nerd. Like they don't need to stereotype every character. Not everybody in the world is a stereotype. You don't need that. You need relatable people that you can actually relate to and enjoy and empathize
you
with.
know, it's
So when they do
sad.
die, it's like, holy fuck, why do they kill them?
Like, here's the thing: part 7 and 8 had great ideas, pathetic payoff.
Yeah. I blame a lot of that, especially with part seven on the MPAA
Well, you
and
can't
Barbara
blame the
Sachs.
characters on the MPAA.
Right. That's
Like
true.
those characters next door, like they were just cannon fodder for
Yeah.
killing. You look at the ones in part 4 and you look at the ones in part 7, major difference
Oh, absolutely.
in likability.
And I think even like a lot of the story line of it was even with Barbara Sachs. I interviewed William Butler, and he said Barbara Sachs nulled a lot of the stuff that was in the script, and the ending was like totally trashed, where the dad was supposed to look skeletal, and now he's looks like he just came out of like just sprinkled a little dust on him.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Perks Up. I love Lar Park Lincoln, don't get me
Yeah,
wrong. I love her.
yeah,
But and I've interviewed a few people from Part 8, including the late Peter Mark Richmond, who I think
okay,
was the
yeah,
best part of the film.
yep,
But they never went where they should have. And of course, don't get me started on Jason X, which I think is the worst one of the whole. The only thing enjoyment I got out of Jason X is seeing David Cronenberg show up in a cameo. That was about it.
yeah,
Oh, I liked Lisa Ryder as the android. I did like her,
yeah.
but outside that, that was a fucking horrible movie.
Uh-huh.
You
I
know,
think the movie was ahead of its time. Like oops, hold on. The movie was ahead of its time.
it
It
was a
was
waste of my time.
it tried to do what the future was gonna do, but they made it too sci-fi-ish. Like they didn't make it a realistic futuristic thing. Like
Oh,
it,
yeah, they
yeah,
made it too stupid.
yeah,
Let's
yeah.
simplify this. They
It's
made it too
true. Yeah, I
stupid.
agree. I agree. Yeah, and I
But
had a couple people on my show from them as well from that
I
movie.
haven't had anybody from Jason
Really?
X on. No.
Okay.
It's not that I wouldn't interview anybody. I just haven't gotten anybody on. Like
I had Christy Angus, who was the one with the
Christy
nipples.
Angus, I wouldn't mind having on because she did have the one good. She did have an interesting death scene. I'll give her
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and I
You
had
know,
on Melody Johnson, who played Kinza. I had Jonathan Lowe, who was the professor. I had on the writer and the guy that played Dallas, Todd Farmer.
you're
There's
completely
that.
missing me with all these. I'm familiar
Well,
with the
Todd
names.
Farmer's the one that got his head bashed against the wall in the virtual
Well,
reality.
that's like everybody.
Yeah, and then the Melody is the one that ended up sleeping with the stoner dude, and then he ends up getting stabbed and carted away, and then
Scotty,
she ends up having a panic attack, and then she ends up blowing up with with the thing.
Scotty. You know how
Yeah.
often I watch Jason X.
Yes, it's definitely not my go-to for sure.
Oh, it's not my go-to either.
Yeah.
I got it in the box
Yeah.
set, but that's about it. Kyle Greenglass signed it,
Yeah. I
but
met Christy Angus, and I got her to sign my box art. She was really
Christy
cool.
Angus I'd be open to meet just because of the
Yeah.
liquid nitrogen
Yeah.
death. But
Yeah. She's
you
really
know,
nice. She's actually a midwife now.
yeah.
Yeah, she's from Canada.
Let me guess, she's a midwife wife, and after that movie, she had a midlife crisis.
And
I did.
it's sad about Kane Hodder because he's like I think he's an overrated Jason, but he's in like the four worst movies of the franchise.
You know, I wish they'd get back to like that. Here's the thing about the 2009 movie.
Uh-huh.
The prologue was fantastic.
Yeah.
And when he is running at that woman with that machete, Derek Mears to me, and if I ever meet him, I'm going to ask him.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask if he was channeling Ted White because that's the closest to Ted White I've seen.
Yeah, and Derek Mears, I met him. He was really cool. He's really loves his fans.
Yeah. Um, I look at the reboot like a sequel.
Uh-huh.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
Like I don't look at it as a reboot at all.
Right.
Because and this is something I've noticed, like let's just say he comes from Manhattan or comes from wherever. His mask is destroyed, obviously. It's
Uh-huh.
destroyed and everything. What's he going to do? He's going to go back to being Sackhead.
Right. Yeah.
So I just kind of picture it like he went back to Crystal Lake. Obviously, he would.
Mm-hmm.
But he goes back to Crystal Lake, he's got a Sackhead.
Yeah.
But when he gets that mask from that hobo there, who knocks that sack thing off his head, and Jason kills him off. He goes to pick the sack thing off, and he sees that mask. It's almost like a double take on it, the way the
Yeah,
camera is.
yeah,
And he puts it on, so maybe it's just the way I'm reading it, but I always looked at the reboot like it's another sequel.
yeah.
That's
I
how.
look at it as if it was if it was really a reboot, they would have they would have had it with Mrs. Voorhees as the killer. Because
But
if you're doing a reboot, you're rebooting it from the beginning, which means Mrs.
well,
Voorhees. That's how I
it
think of it.
still was no like
So,
parts 4 and 6 to me
right.
are my go-to.
Part four is my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, a lot of the earlier ones there I
Mhm.
like, I mean, there's a lot of stuff in the original and
Yep.
parts 2 and 3. Like I can watch those, you
Right.
know. Jason X I rarely ever watch if at all, And I saw that in the theater,
Yeah.
but I saw about half of the franchise in the theater.
Nice.
I saw Jason X in Toronto in 2019.
Nice. The
And
only one I saw in theaters, I believe, was the reboot, the 2009. Because the other,
I
the, cause, and no, I didn't see Freddy versus Jason in the theaters because I was too young for that even.
so this is what good about revivals they do. Like I saw part 7 at our no longer existing Twin Cinemas across the
Uh-huh.
river.
Nice.
I saw that in 1988 when it came out, and there's a guy dressed up as Jason ripping the tickets.
Nice.
And my older brother and I were both underage, so how we get in there, I don't know.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me in to see Freddy versus Jason. That was the one before the 2009 because I was like 13 when that came out and I was too young to see it.
I saw part 7 in the theater. The only one we didn't get here was Jason Goes to Hell. We
Uh-huh.
didn't get that here, but I saw part 7 in the theater. I saw Jason X in the theater, and I thought maybe I'd wandered into the wrong movie with all the laughter.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, this is like a comedy.
Right.
I saw Freddy versus Jason in the theater when it came out.
Uh-huh.
And I saw the 2009 film in the theater when it came out.
Mhm.
I saw the original at a midnight screening with that was playing with From Dusk Till Dawn. I didn't go to From
Right.
Dusk Till Dawn. I've seen that. I went to that the theater when it came out anyway, but gave me an opportunity to see the original Friday the 13th on the big screen, so I went.
Right.
And I saw Jason Lives in Toronto, and that was the most exciting screening out of the
Mhm.
six because Jason Lives with an audience is like the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had a
I can
great
picture it.
time. Yeah. So I believe that, especially with Toronto, I believe there's possibilities of the others popping up, you know?
Right.
Yep. Because, like I said, I think it was Ragu Theater, or well, they called it the Drunken Cinema.
Mhm.
But, well, they gave these cards out, and it says every time this happens, you take a shot. Of course, I wasn't drinking, but still,
Right.
my card said every time there's rain or fog on the screen. I'm like, a fuck. Uh, like, really? Can you imagine me taking a shot every time there's rain or fog in that movie?
Right. Yeah. My God.
I'm like, no.
Yeah.
But I have fun at that. And I remember I put something about it on Facebook, and Nancy McLaughlin called me the next day, and I said, I watched you last night. She goes, I saw that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
so
love Nancy McLaughlin. She's sweet.
I love Nancy McLaughlin, and her house was spared in those fires. I was
Good.
happy to hear that.
Good.
But Kimberly Beck's, unfortunately, I heard she lost hers.
Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bobby Heckman was uh, telling me, and it's not the only one I've heard that lost their home. I've heard a few people
Wow.
that lost their home. Few of my guests.
Wow. Sad. Very
Uh,
sad.
but yeah, check out Smile 2. Check out The
Yep.
Substance. Check out Heretic.
I will have to definitely.
Yeah, especially the substance where I mean that's got quite the theme about
Mhm.
how the industry treats women, especially
Yeah,
when they're older.
yeah.
And like I said, it goes totally fucking bonkers in that
Wow,
third act, but it's got some body horror in it.
nice.
Yeah, I mean this looks like something David Cronenberg would have made. Yeah,
Nice.
I
I
enjoyed
recently did
it.
a rewatch of The Fly, and that was good. It's just
I don't
good.
want to hear about what you do with your pants. I love Cronenberg.
Yeah, he's
I
good.
love
He's good.
Cronenberg. You know, and his son does some great stuff too.
Hmm.
Yeah, Brandon Cronenberg. He did Infinity Pool. So he
Nice.
was the one that got that fucking nuts performance out of Mia Goth. Like, yeah, that was after the X movies. Like, I
Yeah.
don't think I'd ever want to cross her. She's scary.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I like that.
definitely.
Yeah. You got anything else you're promoting?
Just go on to my socials and give me a follow, subscribe, whatever. On YouTube, you can find me as Slasher Scotty. You can find my Facebook's as Slasher Scotty and S McCoy author. You can find me on Twitter. I believe on Twitter, I'm S McCoy author and Slasher Scotty one. And Instagram, I'm S McCoy author and Slasher Scotty as well. So you could subscribe, follow, like, share, whatever on all those. You can find my three books. Let's see if I can do it this way. My three books. You can only see one or half or whatever, but you know what I mean. Go to Amazon, you can buy them on there, or you can buy them anywhere books are sold online. You can buy them on Barnes and Noble, you can buy them on Walmart, Amazon, Books a Million. If Walden Books is still a thing, you can probably get it there. But you can buy it anywhere really. That you can get online books. So check them out and give them a review. Good reviews, hopefully, but honest reviews. But yeah, pick up a copy and they're short, but they're good. I got some good feedback. I think I have two reviews that are five, both are 5 stars on the first book, and one review on the second book, that's 5 stars. The third one isn't out yet. So keep an eye out on my socials for when that's released. I did release the release date. I believe it's February 7th, I want to say. From what my publisher told me. So check it out and pick up a copy because it's they're pretty decent. They're pretty good. I mean I know I'm biased, but I mean I think they're pretty good and I did get some good feedback from them. So definitely check them out. If you like I said, you don't like witches, you don't like scarecrows, but you love clowns, then get that one. If you don't love clowns and don't love scarecrows, but you love witches, get that one. Like I said, you don't have to read book one and two to know book three. Like you could read any of them in any order, or you could just read the second one if you want, and that's it. But like I said, they don't follow a storyline where you got to read them in a chronological order. They're an anthology, so each story is their own story.
And of course, if you're Brett Harris, you might get yours wrapped in a pair of Scotty boxers.
There you go. I'm gonna have to get him a pair of boxes and put it under his doorstep. And maybe if he's lucky, if he's a good little boy, I can get some chocolate and melt it up and put him inside.
Or get him some stale cereal.
There you go, stale cereal. I could get the same cereal and spell out relic, RELLIK.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I was gonna say before we close up, did you get to any cons last year?
Yes. I got to let me think. I know it was Monster Mania in October I was at.
Who'd you meet at
Um,
that?
I met who did I met Daniel Harris, Scout Taylor Compton, David Arquette, and I partied with them. Matthew Lillard, which I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but Matthew Lillard is a cunt. He was not nice at all to me. So
You're
take
the
that for
only
what it's
one I've
worth.
heard say that.
Yeah, he was not very cool. Everybody says he's the greatest guy in the world, yada yada
I've
yada
never met
yada.
him, so
He's not that nice. The only reason why everybody's saying, if you ask people if he's really nice, you're gonna get that from people that are parents or people that are women. Because I've met two other guys that had the same interaction that I did, where he basically rushed you off and took your money and didn't care a shit. But yeah, I met him. And I met Tom Savini, who was cool, but to himself, like very,
Hmm.
no, quiet. I met Alexandra Paul. I got a photo op with all four of the people that were there from Christine, which included Alexandra Paul, Keith Gordon. Um, I forget the other two that was there. Off the top of my head. And who else did I meet? Trying to think. Alicia Witt I met.
Hmm.
She was cool. I met Jamie Kennedy. Who else?
If I ever meet Jamie Kennedy, I'm going to correct him on a few things, and one being that Mia Goth basically countered all the friggin' Scream rules when she
Right.
did X.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head, but he it was Ghostface for most of the stunts in the first movie, and he did the Drew Barrymore kill.
Yeah.
Can't remember his name off the top of my head, but I met him. I met no, there's a couple more I met. I'm trying to think. There's a couple more that I met that I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, I met all them, and then I know I went to that convention. Did I go to any other conventions last year? I thought I went to one more, or was it? Let me see. Hold on, let me go to my Facebook quick and check. Hold on.
Last year I did my first one in the States. I did Chiller.
Okay.
Yeah, I did Chiller, and I did Frightmare in the Falls.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, I know Lisa Langwa has suggested that I do more cons in the States, but I don't know. A lot of it depends on finance, but
Yeah,
but I mean, last year was going to be my last Frightmare in the Falls, but
I know you did say that. Yeah.
I did say that,
Yep.
and right now I'm planning to hold by that, but I don't know. It depends.
They're
Like,
addicting.
well, here's the thing. To go to Frightmare in the Falls, it involves me like I get together with Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
I rent the car she drives. And
Right.
oftentimes, like I'll get us both a hotel,
Right.
like separate rooms.
Yep.
I mean, she had a couple movies coming up, so she was able to study her scripts and
Yep.
stuff like that. But she's done Frightmare in the Falls before.
Yeah.
But
Yep. Okay, so
it,
his name is Lee Waddle. That was his name. And I also met Dermot Mulroney. I met what's her name? From Scream 2. She was the sorority girl, Lois, I think it was.
oh,
Rebecca
Laurie
Gayheart.
Metcalf, huh?
Rebecca
Oh,
Gayheart. I
Rebecca
met her.
Gayheart.
Yes, I met her. Um, and let me see, when was this one? Okay, I did go to another con. I knew I did. I went to Horror on Main.
Uh-huh.
And I met Keegan Connor Tracy from Final Destination 2 and Once Upon a Time.
Uh-huh.
I met David Anders from Once Upon a Time and iZombie. And
Okay.
I met I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he played the guy that got sliced by the barbed wire or whatever in Final Destination 2.
Yeah.
Can't remember his name off the top of my head. And I also went to Creature Feature. I didn't know if that was 2023 or 2024, but it was 2024. And there I met Christy Angus. I met Tommy Lee Wallace. I met Lachlan Monroe. I
Uh,
met Alan Howarth.
did he have pictures of the tiny dick from Scary Movie there?
He did. He did.
I brought that up to him and he's like, "No, I don't."
Oh, he brought him. He brought him.
Oh, did he?
Um, yes. Alan Howarth I met Bill Mosley. I met Tom Warga for a second time. And I met Jim Crut, who's a good friend of mine, and he played the helicopter zombie in one of the George Romero movies. I forget the one off the top of my head.
Mhm.
And that those are the three cons I went to in 2024. Now I'm planning on, but can't confirm because I don't know if I'm gonna do it or not. Of going to Monster Mania in May. I am planning on going. I can't remember the name of the con off the top of my head, but it's like 10 minutes away from me, and I'm only going for the day, and I'm only going to meet one person. It's Christian Serratos, who played Rosita in The Walking Dead. Yeah, so I want to meet her, and she was also in like the Nickelodeon show as the Classified School Survival Guide, and she also played the singer Selena in the TV series from Netflix about her. Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure what cons I'm going to do. Um, Louis Perez was saying that he wants to, because it's been a few years, but he wants to do another horror-rama.
Hmm.
Um, that's a smaller one, so
Hmm.
that comes out of their pocket.
Yeah.
But um, I'd be interested in that because horror-rama was my first. I've done four of those.
Hmm.
Frightmare in the Falls, I said I wasn't going to do another one, but I don't know. They start announcing like Melanie Kinnaman and Laura Lavera, and
Hmm.
I'm kind of like, yeah, it's cute girls. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. And I mean, what are the chances that you're gonna, meet Lauren Lavera or Melanie Kinnaman if they announce them and you don't go? You know what I mean? What are the chances they're gonna announce them again? If and if they do, how long will it be until they do get them back? Not every celebrity does that
well,
many cons.
Frightmare in the Falls has had repeat guests before.
Yeah.
Like CJ Graham has been there twice during the four times I went.
Okay.
Uh, Felissa Rose has been there twice.
Yeah.
Felissa, though, is
I look
just
at it
awesome.
as that I'm not that if I want to really meet them, I'll make a point to meet them
Yeah,
because there's no guarantee that I'm gonna meet them again.
that's what it was like with
Yeah.
Eric Anderson.
Yep. And
I
then what
met
happened?
him
He
and
died.
he passed.
Yeah.
But um, but I'm thinking about doing my first fan expo this year
Okay.
in August
Yeah.
because, like I said, if I this one last year, John Cleese canceled, and that was a bummer because he would have been my
Hmm.
top pick. But they had the Trailer Park Boys there. They had
Yeah.
the cast of Leonard Kenny there.
Hmm.
Shannon Doherty was supposed to be there, and then she passed
Right.
away. I would have met her, but they had some like again. I don't
Yeah.
know why this person is doing cons because she did like two or three movies last year. Bryce
Hmm.
Dallas Howard.
Yeah.
I was like, why is Bryce Dallas Howard?
Why does
But
that name sound familiar?
she's in the Jurassic World movies.
I'm gonna look her up quick because she's
Ron
definitely
Howard's
been in some I've
daughter,
seen. Oh, okay. I think that's where I've
nice
seen it.
looking redhead. Yep.
Yeah.
I like her. Um, Marissa Tomei was there.
Okay.
Danny Trejo was there. McLovin. Like
Hmm.
they had a bunch of people there, and I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm kind of into that. Now they're announcing guests right now for Toronto Comic Con, but
Okay.
they got four guests from Supernatural, but I don't watch that show,
Yeah.
so
I never saw the show, but it's very popular. I do know as the seasons progress, especially to the latter end of the series, they kind of got really bad, like worse,
Mhm.
in terms of content. But like Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles and all
Well,
them are
he's one of the ones that's going to be there, but
right. Which con is that again?
Toronto Comic Con.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
But I was at Toronto Comic Con one year, and it was fine.
Uh-huh.
It was fine, but last year at Toronto Comic Con, they mostly had Stranger Things guests, and I'm
Okay.
like, I don't watch that show because I got
I
all the.
saw it. It was a good show.
Well, here's the thing: the TV's set up to watch my Blu-rays, so it's like
Yeah,
I don't care. Same with
yeah,
Supernatural, I just don't care. I'm not
right,
saying it's bad.
right.
I might set up a table for Skittles here because
Skittles could
Skittles
sign
love
some autographs.
Skittles. You go sign some autographs. It depends on how many treats people bring. Need treats. You'll pay up with treats. Skittles, you go sign some autographs.
Oh, such a
Skittles
cutie.
is my buddy. Skittles made Tiffany Helm do the robot dance.
Oh, really, Skittles?
Oh yes, Skittles
Look
has
at.
power over Tiffany Helm. Tiffany said she wasn't going to do it, but when Skittles said to do it, Tiffany Helm she jumped right to her. She knew that
Aw.
because Skittles is related to the King of Beast. So she knew she had to do it.
Yeah.
Actually, Tiffany Helm asked if I would bring Skittles onto the Zoom. Skittle, are you getting popular? You lazy kitty.
Obviously, Skittles is getting popular because Amazon is profiting off of the poor thing.
Skittles, you hear that? Skittles, profiting up my buddy, my jungle kitty that doesn't clean the apartment for me while I'm at work. You lazy, you lazy.
Skittles likes to lay down,
Skittles, you like laying down?
like to sleep.
Oh, well, I wish I could do more of that.
You have work tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, oof. You have to go to
Oh,
sleep soon.
well, I do the UPS once a week here
Uh-huh.
because the only time that somebody can get in there vacuum.
Uh-huh.
So, but I mean, I'll probably go to my brother's this evening and then go there.
Uh,
Yeah.
makes
So
sense.
that's generally how I do that.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Yep, I have to cook dinner in about 5 minutes.
Bullshit. Have some
Yeah,
stale cereal like Brett Harris.
right?
Yeah.
Stale cornflakes or alphabet cereal or whatever the hell we served them.
Well, we're having Gazelle because Skittles goes out and he catches them.
Go,
Skittles,
Skittles, go.
You go catch me a gazelle. You go take it down. You don't look that ambitious. Well, Scotty, it's always fun having you on here, and
Absolutely. For next year, for number 10, we have to have surprise guests. Adam Marcus, all the throughout the parade, the red carpet, the confetti, my boxers.
yeah, yeah,
Number
next
10,
it'll be
decade.
number 10. Yep.
We'll call it the decade of decadence.
There you go. There you go.
Absolutely. Well, it's
Yeah,
been awesome to be on here. I had a lot of fun, and I always have a blast talking to you on here. And I think we'll definitely keep doing it as many years as you want me back.
sure. Sure. Now go package up those books and a pair of boxers for Brett Harris.
Absolutely.
He's awaiting his order.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then forward them to him. He forwarded your book, you forward him a pair of boxers.
Yes. Yes, I have to. I
I'm sure he'd love
know,
that.
right?
Yeah.
To Brett, you never thought you would be in my pants.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
That's a good one.
There you go. Well, Scotty, you enjoy yourself. You have a
Thank
good
you.
day.
You
And
do the
it's
same.
always fun catching up with you.
Absolutely.
All right. Do a plug for my show before we go leave.
Absolutely. I'm Scotty McCoy, aka Slasher Scotty, and I am the author of Tales of Halloween anthology series. And this was me on Python's Paradise with Greg the Python Hyena Gilbert.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He's got a nice package coming for Brett Harris.
Reword that.
You gonna put a bow on that
Yes.
that package?
Yes, it'll be a nice bow with a hot dog.
Holy cow. You should
Yes.
have like box of stale cereal, and the
There
prize
you go.
inside is the
The hot
stuff.
dog. There you
Opens
go.
it up as stale cereal in your boxers.
There you go. Well, thank you, Greg, for having me. I really do appreciate it, and I look forward to next year. All
Yeah,
right.
you never know. Maybe next year, Judy Aronson will start loving me.
There you go.
What do you think? What do you think?
Stranger things have happened.
Right, right. I'm holding my breath on that one.
Right. All right. You have a great rest of your day, buddy.
All right, you take care.
Yep.
God
Thank
bless.
you. Bye.
Absolutely. Bye bye.